everybody. A post-Kentucky Derby stretch run. Preakness is coming soon. Pimlico has opened up. Horse racing is turning into summer affair. The best thing of all today, Oldy, the best thing of all that just happened today is Del Mar opening day tickets went on sale. If you're going to go to Del Mar, I will be there opening weekend. Anybody in the chat, come and join me. It's going to be awesome. If you want tickets for opening day, they'll go buy them now because it sells out really fast. Oldy, how you doing, buddy?
Doing great, Justin. Doing great. Looking forward.
Go ahead.
Looking forward to a great day of racing today.
Yeah, there's a lot of tracks opening up. I know that I looked, I'm like, oh my gosh, like here comes all the racing, which I love. It's hey Wiz, Ron, Mike, Bluegrass, Chuck. I love when there's all this racing. There's racing all the time, all over the place. Like it's gonna be crazy. It's beautiful weather, I know, in a lot of parts of the country, and it's racing time. It was really cool, Oldie. I meant to send this message to the chat group. If anybody was watching the Nuggets versus Suns game last night, people on the East Coast might have been asleep, but on the West Coast, Denver just absolutely crushed the Phoenix Suns. Denver Nuggets looked really good. But so after the game, they were interviewing I think it was from Sports Center. We're interviewing the Joker, aka Nikola Jokic. And they said to Nikola, they said, hey, what are you going to do as you wait to see you're going to play? Because obviously the Lakers are still playing the Golden State Warriors. The first thing out of Nikola's mouth is, I'm going to watch my friend in Italy ride or watch my friend in Italy ride horses or, watch horse racing. I'm like, the Joker likes horse racing? Yeah. I was like, I love this guy even more, but it was really funny, Ollie. I couldn't believe it.
Let's check him off also as another guy we got to get on the show to talk horse racing with.
Hey, it's worth a shot, man. He likes horse racing, obviously, if he's watching his buddy in Italy ride horses. I was thinking, I'm like, is he talking about Rispoli? And I'm like, I hope not, but oh, it was funny, man. Ron.
Lexi.
I will tell you, man, I was very disappointed in Doc Rivers. I had a lot of parlay bets from Tyrese Maxey into Nikola Jokic last night. And Doc Rivers took out Maxey at the end of the game, which I don't understand why. Harden thinks he's still the gift to basketball. To let Boston win that game when Tatum was that cold, Ron, I hope you guys win, but I think you guys are in a world of trouble headed back to Boston. I really do.
Well, that's also, that's a long time rivalry, the Sixers and the Celtics too.
Yeah, it's been a great series. I love basketball. If people don't know, I'm a huge baseball and basketball fan in addition to horse racing. But I think they blew their chance. I really do. And Maxey was part of it. Don't get me wrong. Like he struggled to miss some free throws, but I just didn't understand why he wasn't in the game. Like, I don't know, but I don't know. I think Doc made a mistake. I think he's lost the most game sevens of any coach ever, I think is what somebody told me. All right. Well,
if you ask me that question, Lenny Wilkins is the name that comes to mind of a guy who's lost a ton of, not only won a ton of games, but lost a ton of game sevens.
I see him occasionally, and yeah, I could see that though. Like, yeah, Ron, good luck though to your 76ers. I don't really care. I'm a Warriors fan because we don't have a team in Seattle at the moment. It was a struggle to watch the Kraken last night. I think they're in a world of hurt versus Dallas, but there's a lot of good sports on right now. I'm excited for the Warriors-Lakers game tonight. I'll be rooting for Steph. All right. We got Gulfstream. We're going to talk Woodbine, Oldie. We got Pimlico. There's some different tracks. I love this. It's nice. We don't have to worry too much about the West Coast tracks. They're starting kind of towards the end of the show. Yep. But we have great racing here at Woodbine, Gulfstream, and Pimlico to start. Let's talk Gulfstream first. That's my ticket for everybody. I thought race 7 was a tough allowance, but I ended up singling there. kind of a funky ticket, to be honest. I thought the sequence actually was pretty nice. I'm trying to play it to cash big though, to be honest,
Yeah.
and not even using the one in race 3 or race 5. I think that horse could be tough, but I like the angles on the 4 and 5. But I'm singling race 7. Oldy, this is your ticket. You're singling in the last, which actually I almost did. But you know what? I always find when we do the same thing, it doesn't work. So I
Yes.
decided to do it differently.
Yeah, and that so originally I was singled to, hold on, see if I can find my refine my original single here. Um, I believe I was singled to the, and I'm losing it. I'm losing my mind on my initial ticket, but I think I was singled to the one in race 6. But then I found that too.
1 in race 6.
It is speed on
Hello,
the
sucker.
synthetic. What? Yeah,
Hello,
hello,
sucker.
sucker. Winner last time out. Granted, it was on dirt, but
Oh,
gets a 7. I always like maidens who actually have won and have been DQ'd. I like that this horse isn't moving up in level and is getting a 7-point GSR bump.
I thought this race was tough, to be honest. I do think that horse might be able to wire on the Tapeta with the apprentice, but
Mhm.
I guess we can dive in, Oldie. Like, I think the race 6 here, this was a tough race. If the 1 and 6 go too fast on the Tapeta, it's gonna set up for one of
Yeah,
these horses that's a price, to be honest. So I thought this was an interesting race. I really did.
I didn't really. I used the 6 because it's the first choice here. And if I was going to use that many horses, I'm not going to leave the first choice off. But I didn't love the 6 here. It
Yeah,
has been at this level and at this distance, really, kind of stopped. Looks like might need the lead and might be more of a sprinter too.
yeah, the 5, I don't even know why this horse in the race. It's 3%, like watch Spytown win or something. But
Yeah, of course.
I
You just put it in the winner's circle, I'm sure.
yeah. Oh man. All right. Let's go through it. Let's talk leg 1 real quick. We got 7 minutes. Let me make sure I got the race up. Claudia and Samantha on the stream today. All right. I spread here, Oldie. I know you spread as well. You're 2, 5,
Yeah,
6, 7. I thought this was another kind of tough race. I didn't think the 4 needed to win, right? I
no.
mean, the source is the favorite, but I didn't think it needed to win. Who'd you like best here?
So I like I thought the 5 was really sneaky here. I also like the 2. And I didn't use the 4 at all. 46 GSR, even though it is 19% and it's working well, I just don't think this horse wants any part of the dirt. And, you know, it's just not that doesn't look that talented on paper. And
I
as
could
Scotty
say.
would say, horses with that low of a GSR don't win that often.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, that's a way you can use the GSR for sure.
Yeah. And I thought the 7's a little interesting here too. Um, so I thought this race was pretty wide open. I mean, I think you could make a case for the 3 or the 1 too at huge prices.
Yeah. I used the 3. I did not use that's my tick. I did not use the 1. 4% though, right? I mean,
Yeah,
4%. I mean, this horse hasn't run, but it's not to say I mean, it hasn't run really at all, to be honest. Other than its second start, it ran a little bit, but that race may have had some amount of pace meltdown or something. I don't know, but
yeah,
uh yeah, I mean, it'll be interesting. Hopefully one of the 1 doesn't beat us. That would be brutal.
yep. And I also I didn't love any of these horses, but note that the 5 has the apprentice aboard and is getting the weight allowance.
Yeah, that horse is working well too, Oldy. I saw
Yeah.
20% to win. I mean, that horse definitely can win. And then we have Pimlico starts almost shortly after Oldy. I was just seeing that. So let's keep going. Let's talk race number 5. I'm not using the favorite here, although this horse can win. I'm trying to
Mm.
have this ticket pay something. What were your thoughts here? I'm landing on the 4 and 5 over the 1.
I mean, this is pretty much a paceless race here, and I added the 4 here um, on the morning line angle of 20 to 1 over 3 to 1.
Yeah,
So
I'm with you. This horse is interesting, right? Like
yeah,
it has this work at Palm Meadows that looks okay, right? I feel like this horse has been working well. I love that it's you have this second off the claim. Yep, second off the claim. So if you
yep,
look here, right, this horse was in the 11 hole, or the going 2 turns on the synthetic. It doesn't necessarily, we don't really know. His horse has never been on the turf course before
right.
after 15 tries. I mean, in that type of morning line angle, this horse was worth a shot. The win percent doubles from 3 to 6%. The trainer jockey combo
Mhm.
here as Edwin Gonzalez jumps on for 29% for Figueroa. I mean, he hits at 21%. So
Right.
you got to pay attention to that, right? I thought, Oldie, I understand your pace of the race comment. I really do. I think, though, I think other horses and jockeys are going to be thinking the same thing. I expect the 6 might show speed. This horse is coming off of Tapeta sprints, although it hasn't shown speed, but we will see what happens if this horse tries to show some speed. I also think the 7 and 9 might show some pace. Like, it will be interesting. I mean, they're shortly behind on the pace figure. Oldie here is
Yeah.
Rios or Morelos, who no longer has a weight allowance. I think he used to, but I think they might try to inject some pace against the 1. That was my perspective.
Yeah, and I will tell you, Scotty did tell me that he heard from one of the trainers at Gulfstream that he's using EquinEdge and showing his jockeys the pace numbers.
Oh, nice. Scott, we will. We do have Pimlico. Oldie reminded me. All right,
Yes.
let's keep going, Oldie. Your spread here. I'm spread. We talked this race, so let's keep going. Race number 7, I singled here, Oldie. You spread. I did think it was a tough allowance, but I ended up singling the 4, Tapper Light, top win percent, top EquinEdge pick. But tell me your thoughts here.
Well, my first thought is that doesn't sound like a Justin single to me. So,
I Go ahead.
usually you'd be single to like the 2, the Elon shot here was a second time starter.
I just thought Tapper Light. I mean, I looked here. I'm like, wow, you won your maiden special weight, like in as a 2-year-old, like dominated. Then they
Yep.
shipped over to Ellis Park for stakes. Like, why they went to Ellis, I don't know, maybe connections. And ran really well. Ran third, right, in a
Yeah.
72. Come back, almost win an allowance in a 64. So my main comment here, my thought process, Oldie, was the 6 you're dropping. You should win. I don't know though. I mean, this horse fits for sure. And then the 5, Olga, I thought was a little bit interesting too with Jaramillo.
Hmm.
I mean, this horse has 2 wins and 11 tries, has been fair. The 5 and 6 have been a little inconsistent. The 6
Yeah.
though is dropping. Like the 6 has a massive shot as the second EquinEdge pick. I just thought the 4, this looks like a nice horse to me, to be honest. And if I remember right, I think GSR was only 57. The 5 was the top GSR. So,
Yeah.
but this horse looked nice, for a state bred. So we'll see.
So I really like the 6 here. That was the horse I almost singled previously. I will tell you I have a note on the 1. And I did use the 1 here, even though the 1 didn't really run last time out. I don't know that the 1 wanted 7 furlongs, but I do have a note, stock pace 3 wide, 1 by and stretch, talented horse. And I think maybe it just, for whatever reason, it didn't run last time out, whether it was a longer distance or the pace in that race. But I think that horse at a big price might be live here.
Yeah. All right. You're single. They are going to probably approach the gate in a minute. You're single to the 2 on the turf, sprinting, big pace advantage. Yeah. This horse, 3rd time as a starter. It looks like the real deal. I think it's the top GSR. I totally get the single.
Yeah. I mean, it just, I didn't really like anybody else here. That's the thing. Like the 8,
yeah,
looks like a money burner.
Well, it's 0 for 11, right?
Yeah, and look, it was the favorite last time out. It's been the favorite 2 other times. I just couldn't use that horse, and I would have had to drop that horse anyway. So there's no way I could use that horse. And the 3 is I think gonna be too far behind. The 5's a little interesting. The long shot, but not really made for turf.
Yeah. I said the same thing. It's run well on the Tapeta, but doesn't look like it wants the turf.
Right.
Yeah, I get it. I almost singled here too. And then I saw your ticket and I said, well, maybe I shouldn't do that because that usually doesn't work out well.
Yeah, no. When we both go out at the same time, it doesn't make for a great show. I'll say that.
It's now post time.
All right, we got 6 minutes till Pimlico, so we'll jump
race
there afterwards.
Starting leg of a late pick 5
we got
offering.
Woodbine after that. So
yeah.
1 shots here. It's 2 Sharp Pippa.
You are
4 She Knows It All.
2, 5 through 7.
On a career unveiling,
yep,
Sharp
and
Pippa
I'm
making her South
7.
Florida
right.
debut.
Let's beat the
1
4.
start to her credit.
Yep.
3-1 on number 6, Pink Party Pants, a quick daughter of Buchero under jockey Samuel Camacho Jr.
How Justin's often seen at parties.
I'm ready for
the party. And I'm going to have to come up with an oldie trash play of the day today too.
Yeah.
Party Pants.
I wonder how Matt did. I haven't talked to him. I wonder how he did in his little competition.
On the
he started off good,
Sofa will complete the line. They're at the post. And they're off. From the outside, Pink Party Pants away alertly and right to the early lead. Vimy Silfa is going to run with her. And here's Sharp Pippa moving out the rail. In between horses, Show Me Love, and in between runners as well as For the Thrill. She Knows It All is toward the back of the field.
Yeah, somebody force that horse out wide
with
too,
Sprint
please.
Breaker toward the rail. The race to the half-mile point. Vimy Silfa has the lead now by a length and a quarter. Pink Party Pants is second from the outside. For the Thrill now third. Here's a sharp move. She Knows It All, sent into action by Jaramillo, 3 wide and up into third. Dropping back is Sharp Pippa, then Show Me Love and Sprint Breaker as they round the forward turn. Less than 5 6 to go, and She Knows It All, making a big move, and she's up to take the lead now. She Knows It All. Back to second, that's Vimy Silfa. Here's the run from For the Thrill. Sharp Pippa's on a rebid outside of her, and that's Show Me Love. There's a quarter of a mile left to go. She Knows It All. Can she sustain this move? She's in front through a 47 1/2 mile. It's off the corner, but She Knows It All, and top by 2.5. From the outside, Show Me Love, in between horses, Sharp Pippa. Then it's back to For the Thrill. Final 16th of a mile. She Knows It All. Very green, but she's wandering about with a clear lead. Jaramillo keeps her to task. The battle's for second. She Knows It All debuts a winner. Sharp Pippa's up for second. Third was For the Thrill, and then it was Show Me Love.
Better than we thought.
Yeah, I had to use that horse too as a 5. The 3 that went as long shot was trying to do something, but couldn't get there. You're out, I think, now, huh? Yeah, you didn't use it for at all. Yeah, that horse took a lot of money. Had a good work, Oldy, is the main thing. I couldn't get rid of that horse as a first-time starter. I think I even, when I originally started looking, thought that maybe that horse could be a single as a first-time starter, but that race looked too tough. But that horse was loaded, man.
Yep.
19% top EquinEdge pick, like
broke a little slow too.
It did, but working well. See, and the system is just giving it to you there as the top EquinEdge pick. Because Oldy, if both these win about 50+% of the time, and then it's 19%, first time starter, didn't have a good GSR, but then the work, right? I mean, that horse was loaded, had a bullet, work there, was working really well. for Jaramillo. So, all right, Pimlico. We won't get a chance to go through this whole thing, but you're singled to the 6, Oldy, in race 6. I singled y'all the 11 in race 8, but we'll look at that in a second. Tell me a little bit about your single.
Give me 1 second.
This is the Gunslinger. Great name. Big pace advantage.
I mean, that's the thing is this horse has a huge pace advantage. I have a note on the horse as well. You know, when it gets the lead, other than the last time out where it clipped heels, which is why I think it did not, and then had to rush up. I think that's why you did not see the same performance. Every other time this horse has been on the lead on the turf, it's won.
Gwen 8.5, won both times here.
I missed
one in a 48, then one in a 54. It's one in a 56. Coming off the layoff, looks to be working okay. I thought this was a tough race, though. I actually really liked the 2. I thought that horse was interesting, was working well, 18%. This horse can sit off the pace and stalk. Did it here a few lengths. And, I thought this was really competitive was my concern, Oldy. I think that horse could wire very fast. What I learned, though, I never play Pimlico, right? Other than maybe Preakness Day. If you look at post positions on the turf and everything, 60% of the winners come from closing. So, but your horse has a big pace advantage. So if you're going to want somebody to wire the field, that's the time. But the win percents made it look wide open. So I ended up spreading here, but I get it. I saw this horse and thought it was really, really interesting.
Yeah. No, I just thought that there's no other speed here. I don't think much of U.S. Constitution, the second pace in there. And, if you look at it, that horse just seems to stop anyways and is a slow breaker. And if it breaks slow here, the 6 is going to get an even bigger lead than you expect.
Yeah. No, for sure. I get it. Like, comes off the layoff. Trombetta looks like Jock, first time been aboard or maybe in a long time, but no, I get it. Let's see, where are they at? They are on the dirt, probably approaching the gate. Yeah. I singled the 11. This is a much more normal single, Oldy. EquinEdge long shot, money's worth, 5 furlongs on the turf in race number 8. This horse has an outside post. There's a lot of speed here. I think this horse is going to sit a great trip. I didn't necessarily love the 6 horse, but it has run really well. I thought it could be really tough. Or I didn't like the 7. I did like the 6. So ended up, landing here. This horse, top GSR in the 7 with the 70, right? This horse has never been on the turf, right? So this is a pure EquinEdge play for me. Morning line angle, long shot, grand motion on the turf, hits at 35% with Carrasco. Like, I would put a win bet on this horse, so I ended up singling here. I did think this sequence was tough, Oldy. I really did.
Well, and with the 11, the granted it's first time turf, but it also has a victory against 60 SOR. And, that was on the dirt with a lower GSR. So in theory, if a horse like the 6 doesn't run away with this, and that's the threat, I think the 6 stops.
Wild behavior.
But it's going to be between the 7 and 11.
Yeah, and I didn't like the 7. I think the pace is going to be hot. I think the 11 sits a great trip.
Good stop, man.
We have the same horses here:
and
3, 5, 6, 8, 9. No 2 and 4.
Yep.
Very substantial.
Nice. I really struggled between the 2 and the 8 there. I went back and forth, so hopefully that doesn't burn me.
Wait for substantial to settle down. Straightened away.
Well, the 8's the EquinEdge long shot.
Right.
That's good. I'm not sure why I don't have that horse. Oh, I do have it.
You do have that horse.
I have
the 2 and the 3 we don't have, right?
Yeah. Yes. No, we have the 3. No 2 and no 4.
4. Okay.
Wild Behavior.
And wow, the 6 got a much easier lead than I expected.
Sue with early speed, and Great Go-Go is chiming in up the inside.
Oh, maybe
Here
not.
comes Great Go-Go. Great Go-Go, Wild Behavior, Great Go-Go, head-to-head for the lead. Pit Stop Man, his name is Sue. The Orange Silks racing at 4th spot. Another 2 lengths back, and Free Square and Substantial, and trailing the field, the Cairo Kid is well back.
22 and 1.
Cairo Kid far back into the far turn run, and it's Wild Behavior pouring on the speed, 2 in front. For the fully ridden Pit Stop Man in second. His name is Sue is in third. Great Go-Go first to back away. Then back to Free Square again. The outside Substantial still with 22 as yet to pick it up. And the Cairo Kid trails the field. Top of the stretch now. They make the turn for home. And it is Wild Behavior. Wild Behavior from Pit Stop Man has been hot pursuit the whole way. His name is Sue trying to close in the center of the track for the last furlong. Wild Behavior up top. Wild Behavior.
I'm more concerned about the 4.
From Pit Stop Man.
That he done.
His name is Sue. Wild Behavior and Carlos Lopez won all the way. Pit Stop Man was second. His name is Sue.
Just one of those cases where the pace duel didn't materialize that we thought was going to happen there.
Yeah, I mean, that horse was just much faster, right? I mean, ended up with the 2 and 8. We're right there, or the 4 even too, but the 6 just got an easy lead, and they went quick, but nobody was going to catch him.
Right. And that was the thing here, was other than even really the 9 only had 1 being a couple lengths back and projected to be further back here. And I don't know what happened to the 3.
Yeah,
I think the 3 still hasn't finished.
All right. Well, we got Woodbine coming up. Before we go there, though, let's chat Derby for a minute. Great show last week, Oldy, and the Oaks. I won money on the Oaks Day, and then I lost it all on Derby Day, but that's okay. Was fun. You know, I really cooked myself, Oldy, and everybody, because I was pretty high on Forte, to be honest. I don't really know why I didn't like Mage, because if I liked Forte, I should have. And the funny thing is, man, I didn't even think about it. I just went to other horses. Like, I'm like, well, okay. But in reality, that, like, it's just bad betting, or, you know, not great handicapping, because Razor, good to see you, buddy. But I don't know, man. I didn't even look. Like, it was just kind of a miss. You called 2 fills, you know, and I said that was just an at-home play, but 2 fills ran a great race.
Yeah.
I was pretty high on Hit Show, to be honest. I had Hit Show in a lot of bets, and
so did Scotty.
Oh, did he? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I'll have to text him. I was really excited on the position that Manny did. And when they were coming around the churn, man, I was like, you know, I was cheering at home, right? But came up empty. Like that, he sat, it's just not good enough, but he sat an amazing trip. Manny Franco did a great job from the rail. Like, I really thought I had a shot. I had that horse in so many friggin' bets all over the place. Like, but you good job with 2 fills, Oldy.
Thank you. Unfortunately, I didn't use it in second in my try. I didn't listen to myself. But so I was at the Express Bet suite at Gulfstream with Scotty, and we're watching with Alfredo from Hippica. And he'd been talking Mage for like 3-4 days. So I included Mage on stuff because, you know, he was so certain Mage was going to win. And he was so excited when Mage won. It was it was amazing. Like he was just losing his mind. And, you know, it was a big deal at Gulfstream because that's a Gulfstream based horse with a South American trainer too, you know. And it was pretty amazing. You know, Scotty and I had a great time with Scotty. We did kind of, you know, in between races, because there was so much time, we were kind of doing our own live show just between the 2 of us that wasn't being broadcast, you know, playing out, you know, looking for advantages, playing stuff, where we ended up making money on Oak Lawn and Woodbine and a few other tracks where we found some significant value just between that. So it ended up being a pretty decent day. And then I also hit I had Mage to to the horse that Bruno owned,
Bo
Bo something.
Bo
Yeah, Bo
Cruz.
Cruz. In a
Yeah.
double. So I had a $5 double there. So that's how I actually covered it. But the system wanted the single mage, and it was the top win percentage.
Well, that's the other thing. Like I
Right.
was actually really disappointed myself, to be honest, because it was just a really bad miss because I liked Forte so much. The system, I think Coach said this. That's good for Mike. Mike is an amazing handicapper, to be honest. But and I don't know him like at all, but I met him once, but just watching him play and everything. But on Mage was in the system with the metrics all week long, and I think Coach talked about it. Mage was in the EquinEdge picks on and off, I think, at points in time as the system was going through whatever it was doing. You know, and it was all there. It was all there. Like, and I just didn't look at the horse, to be honest. I just got off of Forte and ended up going to other horses and other races and ended up liking Hit Show a lot. And I just never put enough time to really probably look at Mage, to be honest. Or, you know, I don't really know. It doesn't really matter.
I knew Mage was going to break slow. And I did not expect Verifying and Kingsbarn and Reincarnate to go 22 and change to open the thing up. And that really, you know, I expected more like a mid 23 pace, 23 and a half. And, you know, it really, you know, set things up perfectly for Mage. And that horse was absolutely loaded too. You know, I'm not certain whether you'll get that kind of pace at Pimlico. It helps that Baffert's shipping a horse in, it sounds like. So you have the
Street Mission or something.
First Mission, yeah, who I have marked down. I won the Lexington, and the Lexington, my note says this may be Cox's best 3-year-old.
Yeah, I watched that horse race. I don't disagree with you. He has a lot of good horses. But that horse looked really, really dangerous. Yeah.
And you know, that horse doesn't need the lead and might be able to sit in the two fills type spot.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said about two fills, runs an honest race every time. You know, a lot of times what happened, you know, that's 3 times now in the Derby sequence out of 4 races that's happened, that he got to the lead and then got caught in the stretch.
Yeah. Japan horses didn't run awful. I don't think they lived up to their hype, to be honest. Derma ran 6th or something. I can't remember. Mandarin Hero ran okay. They're obviously I was never a fan of Tapit Trice, and the horse beat me multiple times. I continually played it through. That horse didn't run. I didn't watch a lot of the video to see what happened to some of these. The pace, Oldy, to your point, was really hot. I feel like at this point, because of horse racing, like you're always going to have somewhat of an injected pace lately because these people want to get to the lead and try to go and be gone, right? And I think you have some good quality horses. So, but Preakness is in a week, basically, right?
Yes.
A week from Saturday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll be on a plane flying back from Boise next
nice.
Saturday. So I likely will not get to see the Preakness. I should be done with my training in time to do the show though. On Friday, it's just getting out of Boise.
Well, you can probably watch the Preakness on the plane, man, or watch.
I hope so. It's a United, so there's one direct flight a day each way from O'Hare to Boise.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, so I missed it on Friday, so I'm taking it on Saturday. But it's like takes off at like noon Boise time and gets in around 7. It's not it's more of like an express type, so it's not going to have any. Yeah, I know. So
you might not.
You know, I'll have to find out when I get off the plane, but you know, I'm definitely looking forward to it. I think the Preakness looks interesting. I would love for Mage to win, so we're staring at an interesting Belmont for sure, with a chance at a Triple Crown. Also for Alfredo, who's such a great guy. I would love to see it for that too.
Yeah. Yeah. And Chris mentioned if you follow the system and ticket generator, I've just never been on
17K you would have hit.
Yeah. I mean, it's almost on big days like this, to be honest with you. I think I might start doing that, is just throw a $50 or $100 pick 5 in and just let the ticket generator. And, I think the hard part is you have to identify the singles. And if you don't like them, that's where it gets hard. Right. So I think, it still is hard. I think the ticket generator probably singled Cody's Wish would be my guess.
No, it's singled Mage.
Oh, interesting. So
yeah, Scotty was he was flabbergasted when he saw that. Like, he couldn't believe it. And then when we ran, and Chris put this out there for us, but when we ran the pick 6 at about $400 with Cody's Wish, obviously the obvious single, and then the system single of Mage, you hit the $1.2 million pick 6 too.
Yeah. Rodney, I told at the opening of the show, well, we're going to skip Woodbine here. We'll catch it next race, y'all, and we'll pick back up Gulfstream in a minute. Yeah. But Rodney, opening day Del Mar, tickets on sale today. I would love to see you there again. Rodney and I met up at NHC, and we met up at Del Mar. So
nice.
But opening day, it sells out, y'all. So they didn't have any tickets at tables or anything. I couldn't believe it. They were already all sold out. But last year they have a 2-person table in like the Stretch Run Grill. It's the best spot at Del Mar, in my opinion. And somehow people canceled their tickets, and I picked up these tickets like 3 days before opening day. But I will be there all weekend if anybody wants to come. It's going to be amazing. But Rodney, I would love to see you. What else, Oldy? Oaks was fun. That was a good show. I mean,
yeah, it was a great show.
Matt and John Lee's coming on. We figured out John's internet. He actually reached out and would love to come back on. So we're going to have John on again. I'm sure Matt will come back on as well. And appreciate Coach and Scotty and Chris. And who am I missing? I feel like I'm missing one person. Or was that everybody?
Brad.
Oh, Brad. Yeah. And Brad came on at the end. I felt for him. I was never a Tapit Trice fan, as I mentioned, but I know he had a future there. And it's always fun when you have future bets in the Derby.
Yeah, no. And, I did not like Tapit Trice's run style for the Derby, but there should have been the pace there where if the horse didn't have the 20-point GSR drop, maybe that would be a horse that we would actually look at as likely to get there too. I'm really hoping the 7 gets there at Woodbine, but if the 5 gets there, it's fine.
Let's Run 2. Momentum is drifting out. This leader, Sneaky Rebel. Let's Run 2, try to level. And on the outside, diving now. Let's Run 2 gets up to win. Let's Run 2 beat Sneaky Rebel. Murder Hornet 2.5 away.
E long shot at Woodbine. But it looks like it went off as the fave.
The 7?
No, the 5 ended up winning the long shot.
Oh, that was a long shot. Wow.
Yeah. 6-1 on the morning line, went off at 5-2. The 7 went off as the second. So the double, the pick 3 is paying less than the double there. And that's because pick 3 is 20 cents and the double's $1.
Yeah. That makes sense.
It took me a minute to process it.
Hold on one second.
Of course.
All right. Gulfstream race 5, Oldy, you are 145. I'm only 45. I do not have the favorite here. That's Oldy's ticket, but it is dead because he didn't have the 4, the first time starter, but he was 145. I'm only 4-5 here. I'm trying to beat this one horse. I don't know. I really like the 5. I was surprised it wasn't in the EquinEdge picks. And then the 4 I thought was very sneaky. And then it showed up in the EquinEdge picks when the 2 scratched. And I didn't really like the 2 at all.
Yeah.
But the 1 is 54%, the 10, I didn't see it, only 2%. But I think this is between the 1-4-5. I really do.
No, I agree. I mean, that's what I played. So, and I did not make any exceptions there where I took something out that I might have been interested in. I think I'm playing mine back as a pick 4 here.
Let me know how much it is, and I'll pull it up. Well, I guess I should have figured that out. It's probably like 45, maybe.
Yeah, it's not a lot. It's nothing huge. Hold on, one more leg to do. 1, 4 through 6.
I don't even think it's that much. Maybe like 40.
One, 4, 5, 6.
36 might be 36.
Yeah, that looks right. Hold on, I got one more to click. No, I have it at 30. Did I make a mistake here?
No, it could
1,
be.
4, 5, 1, 2, 3. I did make a mistake, but that should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, right?
Ron, we'll see you later. You're probably gone. Chris, you too. I know, Chris, you're on the road. Have fun, brother. Lots of great racing today. It's a good day. It's Friday. Good day, Friday. Still have a job, so that's a good thing. Scott, some people did. I mean, some people definitely had Mage. I did not. I somehow I was too high on Hit Show. Yeah, Anthony, I don't know. It's always good in my opinion.
Yeah, sometimes we just overthink and over handicap things and don't trust the system enough.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's hard. It's a tough game, right? You're going to always want to make some changes. You just got to find the right spot, to be honest. So, what did it come to? 36, Oldy?
36, yeah.
All right. There's Oldy's ticket, pick 4. He's restarting 145. That is my pick 5. All we have is the 4-5. What's this one horse? What's its odds? 6-5. I don't know. I mean, we will see. This horse looked tough. I'm hoping my hope, y'all. Oldie talked about this. We'll jump back here. The one looks like it could be a paceless race, but I think the 6, 7, 9 are going to show some pace, and I don't like that horse being on the rail. But it's a nice horse. I'm hoping to beat the chalk though. And what are the odds on the 4? 10-1. I mean, that's pretty crazy off a 3-1 EquinEdge morning line. This horse is second off the claim, gets a better post, gets off the Tapeta and dirt. It's the first time on the turf. If you look at GSR Plus, I don't really prefer anything, to be honest. And on the turf, it prefers, 9 furlongs is its best distance. So I think the horse can go 2 turns. It's just, this isn't an amazingly bred horse. They get off the claim for the second time, Oldie, and then they throw it, get rid of this race. This is a very tough post.
Yeah, running okay.
Drops an SOR out of that race. Great trainer jockey combo. Nobody looked amazing here. So, I mean, the 4 at 10-1 is wild.
Yeah, one of the things that we should mention here, go ahead and click on the info.
For who? The 4?
No, on the race.
Oh, up here?
Nope. Right under turf, 8 furlongs.
Yeah, you're good.
Your rail set at 42 feet.
But and I do agree because I saw that. But it's only an 8-horse field is the thing. So if it was 10, 12 horses, I'd be more concerned, right? But I don't disagree with you. I mean, the rail is going to make it tough for closers to come.
I think it might make it tough on the 4 is what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, it could. I don't disagree with you. But I think it's where I can see why you like the 1. I just think that I think there's going to be quite a bit of speed. And with that horse, I mean, maybe when I looked here, I'm like, I guess maybe you can rate. You did it here. It has really struggled at similar SORs. I mean, it won a 52 on the Tapeta. It now jumps over to the turf and goes up 7 points. So you look back at these turf races, right? Horse was regular claim from Gargan, 63s here. It ran really well in 54s. So I get why it's 54%. But burn money. So it's at the right spot to win the race. I think you either had to single the one in my mind or you get rid of it. That's how I played it.
No, that makes sense. And it's essentially the same thing I did with the 4 in the last race. It's just I got burned by it. Hopefully you don't.
Yeah, 4 to 5 now. But I see it 1-4-5, 3-horse race.
Play it however you want.
It's interesting that the 9's getting bet.
I mean, that horse has some speed. I mean, it's got an outside post. So, I mean, I think it was 6%, 7%.
Yeah.
Big morning line angle. So I guess from that perspective, it's getting bet down to what an appropriate morning line should be.
But it's 1 for 11 at the distance.
Yeah, for sure.
That for me was why I didn't use it.
Well, we're going to find out shortly here, y'all. It's going to be a good race. I really do think this is a good one. And then I'm single in a few, so I got to get through this race. If I can get through this race, I'll be feeling good. I do think that allowance is tough, though. We talked about it, Oldy. So it will be interesting. But 4-horse all the way up to 13 to 1. This horse getting no love. I don't play a lot of win play shows, but I think is for sure interesting from that perspective. Just a little bit of money or even just a win place, if you want to do that, would be my perspective. I think this horse is going to run well on the turf.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's my question, as well as whether the horse wants the turf.
I mean, we don't know, but the GSR says it shouldn't really matter. I mean, it didn't really have anything amazing. So,
yeah.
Catherine, welcome. David, good to see you. Hope everybody has a good weekend. Lots of baseball, lots of basketball, lots of hockey. It's busy. NFL schedule got released yesterday. Yesterday? Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard New Orleans and the Bears have, on paper, have the easiest schedules. By whoever decides those things.
Gate, last chance to wager. It's a late pick 4.
I know. I'm like, how do you figure that out?
I mean, I don't know. Based off last year, which is always a dangerous thing to do in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The horses are at the gate. It's now post time. A lot of gap moving in. Race number 5, starting leg of the late pick.
And the 4, one looks fit for sure.
He's odds on, in fact, at 4 to 5. Unleveraged is a 7 to 2 proposition here. 4 to 1 on number 5, Veloce. In the line goes Eden Paradise.
I think it's just going to be dependent on what the pace is, man. And like your point, that rails out. So
waiting for Summer Shandy.
So, but the 4 are going to have to be semi-close to not just completely drop out of the race with that.
Summer Shandy to take the outside. Yeah. Ready for the late pick 4 in the gate.
There's some grass on the turf.
And they're off.
And there's some not grass on
from down toward the inside. Here's Veloce moving to challenge, and on their outside, Officer Country won't be far away.
But the 1 doesn't need the lead.
That's the Paradise. Then back to the rail, Silent Chaos. Headstrong while a bit deep is Summer Shandy. And 3 to the trailer, Valid Exchange. And the run around the first turn, Officer Country is trying to work clear of Veloce, who's reluctantly letting him go. Officer Country to the top. Veloce is second. They open 5 on Prefect, who buys time while racing in 3rd. On leverages on the outside in 4th, and it's Eden Paradise. Summer Shandy is with them. Down at the inside goes Silent Chaos, and Valid Exchange is last. 24 and 2 for the opening quarter.
I mean, I would have liked the 5 to still been pressing the 6 here.
Officer Country.
How many times do you see on the Gulfstream turf a horse like that at 17 to 1 just get away like this and nobody is able to catch up?
Wide in 4th, and Eden Paradise.
Really slowed it
Silent
down.
Chaos is making some good progress. then Summer Shandy and the trailer Valid Exchange.
We'll see if
47-2 for the opening half mile. Around the far turn they go. And here's a move from Veloce from up between to stick a neck in front. Prefect is with him.
Should have just played it as a try there.
Looks like he's got some run, but no place to go yet. Eden Paradise is at the rail. Plenty of hopes here. They straighten for the drive. Looking for room is Silent Chaos. Prefect down the stand side. Veloce for a narrow lead. They come past the 8th pole. Veloce now at the rail. Eden Paradise far outside. Prefect 16th to run. Here's back for more Officer Country. Veloce and Officer Country photo.
Boom, the 5 got it.
Close. Did Veloce catch Officer Country? That's the win photo in 136.
Like I said, that how many times do we see a horse like the 6 get away on the front end and get an easy lead on the Gulfstream turf?
The one didn't run. That horse really fit. I
don't really know what the jockey on the 4 was doing though. That was the apprentice.
Horse ended up going off. Yeah, that was a good boom, David. Pick 5 continues. That's a good thing. It has a really rough trip on the 4. I don't know. I mean, yeah, it was a bummer. 5, 6, 7. It's that easy.
At the very end, did the rider on the 6 stop riding? Because there was no head bob at the end.
Well, he's pushing there. You can see.
Yeah, here, but watch the last bob. He was not really pushing. He was standing up and not pushing.
I don't know. Yeah, Daniel, we talked about the jockey on the 4. That horse was loaded. I mean, he was in hand and then got caught in traffic. Like, I would have loved. I mean, he would have been better off trying to go up the rail, right? Or trying to go wide, I guess. I don't know. It was a bummer. I mean, the horse really. Mike, I mean, he might have been best. I don't know. I mean, he looked really good. Thanks, David. But yeah, that was a bummer. The horse just couldn't get through and then kind of got caught in traffic and ended up getting back to 9-1. So nowhere close to the 3-1 morning line. Pimlico, 2 minutes. Oldy, you are singled here to the 6.
Yep, and my single is not getting bet.
Yeah, it'll be kudos to you if this horse gets home. I am 2 through 6 and 9, and then Oldy is single to the 6 here. Let me pull up that race. We got 2 minutes. Came 5, 6, 7, man. That trifecta. Yeah. 9-2 over 17-1 over 15-1.
Well, I mean, 9-2 over a horse that you and I both agreed was one of the ones who had a shot there. That was a huge. There shouldn't have been a delta of 4-5 to 9-2 between the 1 and the 5.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I mean, that one took a lot of money. The 2 is not the favorite. The 8 is the favorite.
Yeah, it's been going back and forth through those 2.
I'm 2 through 6, 9. I don't even have the 8. I got off this horse. It was 0 for 10 at the surface and distance.
Yeah, I didn't like the 8 either. It's a hanger.
I just struggle with that. Like, I get it. It's 10%, but I thought the 2 was really interesting. Whoops. Oh, I think that was yours. How much was yours? 150, Oldy?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, there we go. The 2, you know, the source top EquinEdge pick 20%, you know, 1 of 54 fairly easily last out at Delaware Park, comes off the layoff, is working really well. Yeah, it's shown that it can kind of rate stuck off the pace. It has gotten the lead before here at Belmont and Laurel, but I'm had a good campaign, I would say, as an 8-year-old, lightly raced, you know, so coming out of France, I mean, but, you know, an older horse, but all these horses are a bunch of hard knockers, Oldy. I mean, 3 wins, 7 wins, 9 wins, 4 wins. I mean, and, you know, 20 to 30 tries. So,
yeah.
But you got the pace horse, Gunslinger, has shown that it can win on the lead at similar SOR. So I hope the 6 horse gets through, not taking money, as you said, at 5-1.
Yeah, no, I I hope I'm right about this horse because it will open that ticket up and really help make sure that ticket pays the way I have it structured.
9-2 now.
Yep.
Not much in the pool at Pimlico. Only 15,000 in the pick 4. Well, obviously it'd be a lot bigger in a week. I'm sure for Black Eyed Susan will be next Friday.
Have we heard whether Bafford's shipping in the San Anita Oaks winning horse? The name's escaping me, but for some reason he didn't transfer that horse to Yak Team, so it couldn't run in the Oaks.
I don't know. I haven't heard.
But that horse is a monster.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I don't know. Yeah. Billy, I don't know if we'll talk Churchill. We can't show it, is the bummer. We can show Woodbine, we can show Pimlico, and we can show Gulfstream. So I don't know. We'll see what happens here. Rodney, that'd be a good ticket if that hits, to be honest. It would pay really well. But they're approaching the gate. I visited Pimlico, Oldy. I went to the Preakness, I don't know, was it 2 or 3 years ago with Scotty. Was an interesting track. Is in the middle of the ghetto of Baltimore for sure.
Yep.
I mean, I would say it's definitely a pretty poverty-stricken area. It was a fun trip though. I never went inside the building though. It looked like it was so old that it wouldn't be a good idea.
So Scotty's going again this year.
Oh, is he? Nice.
Yeah. With and then he's staying for the Mid-Atlantic horse auction.
He is?
Yes.
Is he going to buy a horse?
I don't know if he's helping other people or if he's, because I got to see some of the new tools that are coming. There's one for owners and things like that where you can find out what the GSR will be. I know I think he was considering buying a horse or two, but I think he was also helping some other people.
I know that there's a progeny predictor and all types of stuff.
And they're off.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Yeah.
Gunslinger out first on the far outside is Krug, moving up with early speed too. Speak Unity is next in U.S. Constitution. Pittifees racing down to the inside, up against it in Mint Game. Up against it and Mint Game are side by side. There's 7 lengths on the early speed. Pretty good year 1-2 kid. The 2 pass of that first turn.
You just got to make it to that corner and that 10's so wide.
The field and far back now. Got to be 22 lengths off that pace set by Gunslinger. Gunslinger, Krug on the outside, moving second now. And Speaking of is racing third position. U.S. Constitution is in 4th. Petitfils on the inside. Next in 5th. Mint Game is in 6th. And up against it, the opening quarter went 24.14. So not too fast out there for Gunslinger, who leads the way.
Need like a 49, man.
As he's on the inside.
They said not too fast. I'm thinking,
Constitution is out of the clear. Petitfils is racing down.
We're getting a 2 Emmys
to make up and up against it. A pretty good year.
Yeah, you can see they picked it up now.
Turning the field is Farmat, still about 13 lengths on that front runner. Gunslinger go 49.84, half mile into the far turn.
You two sitting great.
Carrying the field to catch. Krug, Mint Game's on the move. Speak Unity right there. Petitfils just in behind that group, racing along in the 5th spot.
Come on, one time. One time. Spin it in, one time.
Speak Unity out after that.
One time.
Steadily inside. And they're followed by Krug and Mint Game.
Come on, finish. Finish.
Even farther out, U.S. Constitution, way wide is
Finish.
1-2 kid. Gunslinger furlong out, holding on to that lead. Gunslinger.
Come on, 2, get up for second.
Gunslinger with a 2.5 length.
No, the 9's going to hold up.
Unity.
But
and 1-2 kid.
I'll take single and what did I have there? $20 to win. Sure. It's a nice profit.
Always bet your singles. That's the key in horizontal bets, in my opinion.
Rodney, your pick 3 is live. Now I have to hit my single.
I hope I can pull it through. We'll see.
Yeah, we're going to pull you through, Rodney. I have a good feeling about today.
All right. Woodbine race number 5. Oldy, I didn't get a chance to look here yet, but tell me, I know you did. So, and I think you put a 5 earlier at some point.
So I'm alive in the pick 5 going into leg 4. I have 1, 2, 3, and 6 here.
What race was this? 5? Race
5, yeah. Yeah, because at Woodbine, it's they count by Canadian numbers, so they start their pick 5 in race 2 instead of race 1. That sucks. All right, so I made that up, but it's like Canadian money. So I singled the 3. So if you go back to race 2, I was talking about this with you earlier. I was flabbergasted that 3 with the big square there and the 30-point pace advantage went off at 3-1 and was not the favorite.
Maybe the Canadians don't know who Wesley Ward is.
And well, it's also Kimura's was last Woodbine meets leading jockey too. So this shouldn't have been that hard to find. It was dead on the board, went gate to wire just like you would expect.
I mean, the horse ran really well at Turfway, 2 back on the lead, nearly won in a 38. So
and the horse
didn't get the lead here. So you knew this horse was going to get the lead, huh?
Yep. And it did have some soundness issues apparently because it was racing 1 race per year. But that was one of the things I liked here was the fact that the horse was coming back and this was the second one. And I liked the pattern once it got up to Woodbine. The workout pattern too seemed to indicate that the horse was healthy.
Yeah, I mean, Wesley Ward obviously does a great job getting horses back on the track. So I think, but to your point, this horse as a 5-year-old finally breaks its maiden after running once a year. So, well, nicely done. And then in race 3,
it was mostly chalk after that. Yeah.
The 5 was the long shot, but ended up taking money. So.
Right. But and I don't know how that's going to play. And then I like the 2 a lot here as well. And I think the 6 coming off the pace is really dangerous here too.
7 was the morning line favorite or second choice, but taking no money, which the EquinEdge morning line says.
It shouldn't.
Good is that? I mean, 7 horses at 8-1, man. But only 13%. Contreras is riding. This horse gets a trainer change. Which is probably a good thing. I mean, I don't know why that horse is not taking any money, but it's 13%. Has raced okay, coming off the layoff as well. That horse is interesting to me.
Yeah.
I don't get too worried about when I see this. To me, it's like, okay, well, you didn't know how to set a morning line, and then I just try to find the other algorithms, Oldy. And in this case, 13%.
Yeah,
it's not an EquinEdge pick. See, if this horse was an EquinEdge pick, I would find it really, really interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that was one of the reasons I tossed that horse, was that it was not in the picks. And with the low morning line too. And it just also is a horse that 52s didn't get there. 56s lost by almost 6 lengths. 52s didn't get there. Mm-hmm. And some of these are on turf, some of these are on synthetic, but this is a 56 group, and I just didn't see this horse. And it is off the claim, and it is a lot of these horses. So I don't think that the fact that it's a layoff is that big of a deal, because a lot of these horses haven't been running.
Yeah,
since Woodbine closed. So did you notice on the E long shot, the morning line angle though?
Yeah, I did. And the horse is taking money. I mean, how good is the EquinEdge morning line, man? I mean, the only thing I'd go back on the 7, this horse is a trainer switch, whether trainer switch or a claim, right? You can see that there, but it hits really well with this jockey. And I mean, I wouldn't bet this horse at 5-2. No way, because morning line says don't do that. You're not like, this horse shouldn't be 5-2, but you like the 2. He's going to be on the Sugar is Golden, going to be on the pace. This horse looks to be semi-tactical. It's come off the pace, but it's never been on the lead, which is a little bit interesting. And then the favorite is not really taking money for Drexler, Oldy. And Source 1 on the lead in a 54. Yeah. Didn't break here. It's interesting that horse is the second pace number. The 2, I guess what happened with the 1. I mean, you assume this horse is going to have to break from the rail, though.
Right. Yeah. No, and it has not broke well as of late. But it's also, I'm confused as to what this horse will do. But there are some big works on this horse. Some big works on the 1. Yeah.
Yeah, I just looked. I saw the 1 and 7. That's why I was looking at the 7, to be honest, because coming off the layoff, I was like looking at that. Emerald Downs opened up, Oldy, and the trainer I've always used on the horse, Kay Cooper. She's absolutely amazing, but she's so good at getting horses ready. And I traditionally don't play Emerald, but I will because the pools are so small in the beginning of the meet. So she has 5 horses this weekend, and I'm really interested because she does so well of getting her horses ready. So, yeah. And Drexler, I'm guessing, is similar, right? I mean, he hits very well, but coming off the layoff, and that's where I thought the 7 for McRae. I mean, both these, I'm guessing these are gentlemen hit really well off the layoff.
Well, and what's interesting about Drexler is he was at Gulfstream this meet.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And not only that, his win percentage actually increased.
Oh, really?
He was 19% at the start of the Gulfstream meet, or 18%, and he's now 21. So, granted, he could have had a bad start to last year at Woodbine, and that could have dropped off too. But it's interesting that he went up there. And he is 18% with this jockey, and in a lot of rides. So there's 130 rides there. Siddharth is, the old man of the Woodbine trainers there too. A longtime veteran. What's interesting to me though is that Drexler's wins seem to, especially at Woodbine, and win percentage seem to have come at Mark Cassie's expense. I think of the last I saw, Cassie's down to like a 13% trainer.
Yeah, I've noticed that. Like he's kind of fallen off. I feel like it. I mean, he obviously still winning, but he's not getting great horses, I guess.
Yeah. And, I used to refer to him as the Bob Baffert of Woodbine. Like you always had to know where the Cassie horse was.
Yeah. What do we got? They're probably getting close. 1 minute.
1 minute here. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, the 2 looks like it might go off as the favorite or the 6. The 1 is top EquinEdge pick, top win percent. Yep. Looks good. I don't love that the 7's now getting bet down. They're getting ready to go in the game.
They're going in.
Oldy, what do you have in your pick 5?
1, 2, 3, 6.
Okay. So I won't root for the 7 then.
You can root for the 7. It's fine.
No, I didn't handicap it enough. So we'll get Mr. Geller here. Give us the call from up at Woodbine. We appreciate Woodbine for allowing us to show the races.
Cleomenes, Patrick Husband's gate 6.
Thank you.
So a little more in the win pool now for Sugar is Golden, 5-2. And to the outside, very savvy.
We want the 3, the long shot, Oldy.
Yes, definitely.
Locked up. As they break, one of the best away, Sterling Speed. Back to last was Cleomenes, and bidding for the lead, very
savvy. One broke well this time.
Horses, Sugar is Golden's driven to the front, and up on the inside, Systematic is in a handy spot now, third, a length away at the back. There are 3 of them. Old Secret's the outside of Loaded Question, and Trap Wider is Cleomenes. Sugar is Golden out by a length. Up in second, Systematic, really, and Sterling Speed with very savvy on the outside.
Yeah.
behind them, Old Secret's Loaded Question. Cleomenes, Sugar is Golden, strides along in front. 3/8 to run by almost 2 to Sterling Speed. Systematic is third, very savvy. Gasping for air on the inside, Loaded Question. Back second last, Old Secrets, and last as they come for the home stretch. Cleomenes, Sugar.
Well, if he gets out, I mean, he's going to get trapped here by the 3.
Waiting for a run. Down the outside, Loaded Question. And now ask for more.
3.
Sugar is Golden. Systematic trying to build momentum, and down the outside, Loaded Question coming home really well. Systematic's getting out off the rail. Loaded Question joins in to go up and hit the front. And Loaded Question and Sugar is Golden battle it out with Loaded Question zooming on by. Loaded Question wins nicely. A half. Sugar is Golden. Systematic third, then Old Secrets.
Needed that.
58.
We should have bet that horse, but it didn't really matter. Yeah. The great thing there. So the one, right? You said he got to get out. He tried to come out and he just banged into the 5.
Right.
The jockey on the 5 banged him back. I don't know if you saw that, but it really, I don't think the 3 was going to get beat, to be honest. Right. But it really messed up the 1. Like, that's really, I don't know who. Oh, that was Calavice or whatever his name is. I don't really know, but he tried to force his way out, and the 5 didn't want him out, and he just banged his way through, and then the 5 banged back into him, man.
Yeah, and watch the 3 gets banged at the start by the 2 and the 4 too. So he took a pretty decent bump there.
Got kind of sandwiched there, no, for sure. And the 2 ran a great race, Oldy. You talked about the 2, but nice little exacta. The 1 ends up getting third.
I mean, easily could have hit that try if we played it, especially at that 20-cent denomination.
Mm-hmm.
Or 10-cent denomination, I think it is on the tries.
Yeah, I don't think the 1 was ever going to get to the 3. The 3 ran a great race. Esteban Flores riding up at Woodbine. I used to watch him race at Emerald Downs. He was at Santa Anita for a while, and then they're the 1 and 5 bumping.
Yep.
The cameraman.
I mean, look at how much the 1's coming out there too.
Oh, he pushed his way out, man. He was like, let me through, and just like tried to take the 5 out. I wouldn't be surprised if the 5 lodges an objection.
I was just about to say, how is there not an inquiry, and now it's posted?
Oh yeah. I would not be surprised if anything, the 1 will get the jockey will get just rough race riding or get suspended or something, I would guess. He just tried to bully his way through. Let's go to we will kind of watch that, Oldy, although it doesn't impact anything unless somebody had the trifecta. But Gulfstream, I spread here. I thought this was a tough race. Oldy, you did too. You got through with the 5 in your pick 4. I got through in my pick 5. I'm singled in the next. Tough allowance race. But I thought this race was tough. I think we talked through it quite a bit, actually, to start the show, Oldy, just because it's very hard to wire on the Tapeta. The 1 might have a shot, but the 1 and 6, the 6 might try to just rate. And, somebody like the 7, though, Blue Soldier, was a little bit interesting with the morning line angle. But also some of these other horses, the Tapeta really can set up for horses coming off the pace.
And the 1 is getting bet currently at 5-2. So people think that it's going to have a good shot here, or at least the bettors do. The 3 is a little interesting with, even though I don't love Michael Lerman as a trainer, with Edwin aboard, Panici on the 2 at 9-1. And yeah, I agree. This was wide open, with the exception of the 5, who's 0 for 11 lifetime. That was the only horse I just couldn't use.
Yeah, I did not use that horse either. Spytown, we talked about that horse. Like, I went all but 1, but we will see what happens. The 7's taking a lot of money. Not a surprise. I don't think the 6 horse is a lock here, although that horse is the current favorite. Probably will go off as the favorite.
Yeah.
Inquiry signs still up at Woodbine.
We'll see what happens with the 1 there, even though it won't really impact much unless you have the trifecta.
Buffalo Mike, it's a good question, man. I don't really know. I noticed that a little bit ago. It is showing up on like here, which is like the last Woodbine race. And then let me see if I click on Gulfstream here.
It's just Gulfstream and I haven't had a chance to report it. I noticed it yesterday.
We will do it really fast. Oops. No live odds showing.
And this is how easy it is to use the intercom too.
Yep. Bang. Says somebody's going to reply in under 10 minutes. All right. Countdown's on, Brad and Riley. And who else we got? Scotty.
Yeah. Well, Scotty's not answering, but
he probably gets it. We'll see. All right.
Yeah.
That is.
And I'm trying to think. So, and we did there. I don't know if you guys noticed there was a feature edition today, as well as a couple fixes that came out.
Was there?
Yes. Yeah. Riley is awesome, Mike. So
awesome. Good crew.
Main track only is now showing.
Yeah, I saw that.
And then actually one of the things I caught last weekend was on PC when you went into to HandyView Plus or to HandyView, the scratched horses weren't showing scratched. Like you could see their colors and you couldn't click on them, but they weren't showing scratch. So that was fixed today too.
Nice. Yeah.
I noticed that.
Yeah.
So
they're always working hard.
Yeah, no, and Scotty's got some just from talking to him last, Thursday and Saturday, he's hired some really excellent people. And I think we're going to start seeing some really amazing stuff coming out of there.
Inquiry still up at Woodbine if you had the trifecta there.
There we go.
Look at if you had the trifecta and you had the 4 and 4th with Emma Jane, there you go. 30.
Yeah, you just made a bunch of money.
Yeah. Whoever I don't know that jockey's name, so I don't want to butcher it, but he just tried to bully his way out and just took out the 5. So if you own the 5, you're all day gonna they didn't even have to raise an objection. There was an inquiry just because the 1 completely bullied.
Still time for your wagers. Race 6. It starts the late pick 3.
Well, and if there was IRAD, that wouldn't have even been an inquiry.
He's it's interesting. I think he did not have a great Keeneland meet. I don't others may know this, I'd be curious, but I don't, and Oldy, you might. I don't really know how he did at Churchill when he was there.
Yeah, pretty well.
Okay. Yeah. I didn't Mike, thanks we appreciate you reporting it. Though it takes them a little time, especially the developers, right? And stuff like that. They'll have to figure out what's going on. It probably, they update other things and then whatever's in the code, right, can break other things. And I think, it's all about testing all the time. So I think trying to keep the tool, keep getting it better, but keep it going, and little things like that are going to happen. So
yeah, no, and a few of the things that are coming, I'm sure, from Scotty. I've heard a few of the things that are coming, some improvements to existing features as well. I would say that from talking to Scotty, it's never going to be good enough. There's no such thing as good enough. It can always be better. And that's kind of his mindset.
Yeah. Wiz, hit the like button, y'all. We appreciate everybody being here. It helps us out on YouTube. Get more people in here. Oldy, I don't know if Razor's still here. Last Saturday, I went on Razor's show over on Pub Sports Radio. They're a good crew. If nobody's watched them, they have a lot of shows and talk a lot of sports, especially if you bet sports. They talk a lot of sports. So I know Razor and the crew over there cover horse racing as well. And the main guy who runs the show, I can't remember his name. I don't want to say his wrong name. I think it might have been Bobby. It might have been Bobby. I can't remember.
Horses are at the gate.
He called a 35-1 Gulfstream on the show. It was incredible.
Moving in, race number 6.
We're going crazy. So check those guys out.
Hello, sucker.
Yeah, Razor's a good dude.
Surgusa. 4-1 respect for networking. It's 9-2 on Blue Soldier.
Wiz, I don't know when that's coming. I know it's in the queue, but my guess is it's gonna come out once Handy View Plus comes out, if that's what they call it. That has kind of the link feature where you can go to past races for horses. I would guess that.
Don't kiss the minister.
It's a big build. I know there's a lot of work.
Another barn change here today. Now in the barn.
Well, and I'm sure there's some licensing things too for doing the race replays.
Spy Town.
But like the Handy View Plus stuff, we had that. I don't know if you remember, we had that for like 2 weeks at one point.
I don't.
Blue Soldier.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah, no, I agree. It's really helpful to be able to see.
All set.
I don't know who's the favorite.
And they're off.
The 5-horse
beginning for Spy Town.
Race.
Quick beginning
the
for
5-horse blew the break
down
too.
toward the inside. Surgusa's on the go, and we'll go up and badger the leader from second. Blue Soldiers away in third.
Oh, we talked about the one might try to
Drive. 3 wide.
I'm hoping they go hot.
From between horses and networking. And after a slow break, Spy Town is the trailer.
We want to see
Angel Morales says, "Hello, sucker!" In front by almost.
We'd like the
in hand by Perez, but he's not
the 2 or the 4.
And Blue Soldier is making him more aggravated while
fast.
3 wide in third. Paradise Drive well
it will
situated
be very
in
tough
fourth
for
ahead
these
of Don't Kiss the Minister. Then networking, and the trailer is Spy Town.
The 2 is
24 seconds flat for the opening quarter. Hello, Sucker has the lead by almost a length.
3 and 4
is there. Second, Blue Soldier on the outside. Third, Paradise Drive is kept close to the action while racing in fourth.
24.
That's the team of networking and Don't Kiss the Minister and Spy Town trails. That's the 7 of them with half a mile to run. 47-3 for a picked up half mile.
That's way too fast on the Tapeta.
Surgusa
at this
second
level.
toward the rail. Paradise Drives now a joint third with Blue Soldier. Then Don't Kiss the Minister, who brackets in
not a lot here.
And the trailer is Spy Town.
No, he's responding.
That's the 3/8 mark, and Hello Sucker tries to make all. He still has the lead. From the outside, Surgusa working harder to stick with him. At the rail, Paradise Drive grinding home is Blue Soldier. Networking, Hunt's Racing Room. He's got run networking. Outside and Don't Kiss the Minister. Plenty of hopes here. 3/4, 11-4. They're at the top of the stretch. Who do you like here? The leader is still Hello
I would
Sucker.
like the 2 along the rail, please.
Networking, trying to get out from behind the heels of him. Down the center, and Don't Kiss the Minister. Less than an eighth to come. The leader is Hello Sucker.
I take the 3.
Surgusa still trying. Hello Sucker drifts. Surgusa surges. Networking inside. They come for the wire. Here is the wire.
Can't believe the one held.
Finish.
But that can play up for you.
Top end. He's in a win
because we're looking at the win bet. What did that? Let's look at what that played. If I look at what that played in the doubles and the pick 3s, the 4 was in the pick 3. The 1 was the third choice.
Edwin Gonzalez.
And a significant third,
Edwin Gonzalez should have won the race, Oldy.
Yes.
Agreed. He had all the horse in the world and tried to get his way out and couldn't do it. And then he had to go inside. But
moved too late, too.
Yeah, I know. Very close at the end. 1.
Ooh.
I think the 1 still gets there. I mean, the 1 was a head in front, and thus this. I don't think the 6 even got the best bob. All right, back to Pimlico. 3 minutes until race number 7. Oldy, your singles just hit. You are 2, 3, 5, and 8 here.
Yep.
I am 1, 3, 5, and 8.
So what did you like about the 1 here?
So my main thing here, I think this horse was 15%. It's the second EquinEdge pick. It won a 58 and a 62. I don't know if this horse can rate, but from that perspective, it won a 62 out here rating off the speed at Laurel. It was a wet track, and this horse won both times on wet tracks here, sloppy and then wet. But then it ran well here on the mud. I never even actually looked at this, but the GSR doesn't say necessarily he's going to do anything amazing, but mainly Oldy is the second EquinEdge pick. You get the weight break on the Apprentice, but I thought that this race from a starter optional claim was going to be a little bit tough, second off the claim, right? But this horse fits, in my opinion. I mean, the last race you have to throw out, but outside that, these races back here, and I guess you could throw this race out too. But these races back here, this horse should run competitively here, was my thought.
All right, so I'll tell you what I didn't like about this horse. This horse has not run really a lick since, with the exception of this one wet track race, since being claimed out of the nest barn. So, it clearly had the nest juice. It needed to be on or near the lead. And really, it's breaking slow. It's not running well. And it's just stopping since it left the nest barn. And that's the reason I didn't use this horse. I think the system was still picking up some of those nest results.
I could see it for sure. But yeah, it mainly was from an EquinEdge pick. Like if I start going 3 or 4 horses deep, I have to think about the long shot and the EquinEdge picks, unless I just completely get rid of them. Is my thought. So the one
and I did use the long shot here, and the long shot, of course, was 8-1 on the morning line and 9-5 on the morning line. Is currently sitting at 5-2.
The 5, yeah.
I
mean,
I
thought about singling this horse, Oldy, to be honest. Instead of the 11 in the next, top win percent, right? It's the pace of the race. The 2, the reason I didn't, and I'm remembering this, I didn't like the 2 because this horse is jumping up in class so much, and it's going to be on the inside of that speed. That was my concern on the 2.
I think the 3 is the deserving favorite here. With the win over 58 and 56 and nearly won a non-graded stakes here. The 2 can rate a little bit. That's one of the reasons I like the 2. If you look, it beat these 42s rating. It beat the 44s and the 48s. You're right. This is a big step up in class, but it did win by 6.5, almost 7 lengths last time out.
But what I don't like is,
and it's a reclaim. That was the other thing I liked about it.
Yeah, and I see. I don't like when horses stop with an easy lead, and so in this case, this horse had a 1.5 length lead, and in a 44, and ended up not winning. That's my, and now is going to have to rate, or even if it's on the lead, that's just how I couldn't get down with it too. But the reclaim is an interesting angle. It looks like they're loading.
The King Cheek. Dolitza Vita.
But I do think the 5 gets the lead here, and the 2 tries to sit right off.
Negate. They're off. The King Cheek directly to the front. Dolitza Vita breaks a bit outward, but showing
almost exactly the way I saw it.
Side. So the King Cheek and Aristocat down inside, taking back second spot as they move to the turn run. Dolitza Vita on the outside, about 3 path in third, and Guillaume racing next. And followed by Clubman with 1 horse beaten now. It's Bobby G who trails the field. The King Cheek settled into a steady beat up front. Leads at about 1.5 lengths from Aristocat, second by a length. Dolitza Vita up close there in third position. Another 1.5 lengths, and Clubman trying to move forward from fourth on the outside. Now 4 lengths off the speed. Back to
that they're holding that 1 back. back. He's being choked.
23.78 by the King Cheek. Lead of a length from Aristocat. Then deletes Savita third. Clubman racing on the outside. Clubman's in the clear fourth with every chance to roll on now. Then back to Guillaume, and treading the field is Bobby G. The King Cheek still in charge. 46.63. Heading into the far turn for the half-mile fraction. The King Cheek 3 parts of a length from Aristocat second. Deletes Savita third. And Clubman outside still in fourth position. Trying to get closer now. Clubman out there 3 wide with 3 furlongs left to go. Moving forward, here comes Clubman. Clubman with a wide out move. The King Cheat with a quarter to go at Pimlico with the lead. Clubman on the outside coming with plenty of confidence. Here's Clubman and the X-Man with a quarter to go at Pimlico, turning for home from the King Cheek. And Dolitza Vita down inside in third. Aristocat is driven in fourth. A furlong left to go. And as Clubman, the veteran, takes off, opening up now by 4 lengths. The King Cheat stubbornly trying to hang on a second. Bobby G on the far outside and deletes.
I guess you'd say 2-1 was a gift there.
Clubman.
On the 9 to 5 morning line.
With the X-Man aboard to win 2.5. Bobby G was second, deletes the Vita. And the King Cheek.
Yeah, I mean, much the best. That could have been a single, to be honest, I think. All right, back to Woodbine, Oldy. So is this the end of your pick 5?
This is. The will pays aren't great on a couple of these, but they're all pretty profitable. This is a 20-cent bet. I spent, the ticket was $80. The worst of the will pays is 345.48. So I'm 1, 2, 4, 5, 6. I only don't have the 3. I love the 5. The 5 would be amazing here, because that's going to pay $13.75.
Mm-hmm.
But, one of the things I like about playing Woodbine is you can play an $80 ticket, and if you hit your single, you're going to have huge coverage because it's 20 cents. It's more coverage than $160 50-cent pick 5 ticket. So,
yeah. Well, I mean, the 5 has good GSR as a win. The 4 has a win, 9%. Anam Kara off the layoff, like probably many of these, as Woodbine opens back up. Ran into stakes as the meet closed out probably there last December, it looks like. And this horse has been this horse is a stakes winner. I mean, won a 58 stakes and then has been racing versus way tougher. Drops into optional claim here, not in for a tag. I mean, this horse is live, Oldy. I mean, this horse, it won a stakes race, which is never easy. This horse broke its maiden and then won a stakes race.
Yeah. And, won a maiden optional claimer, not even a maiden special weight, and is going back down to that distance. And I think it may have been running a little bit longer than it wanted to. I think that, from a GSR standpoint, it looks like the 5 furlongs is the right distance for that horse.
Yeah, no, I mean, you can see that there. I mean, it won there and then it ran here great in a 66. Yeah. So I think, I mean, you got a good shot at a good pit. I mean, I think to your point, the 3 probably doesn't really fit at 2%, but I like Oldy. And also, I mean, you see a good GSR, right? So, but somebody like the 4 Sacred Dancer, this horse,
it's just okay.
Yeah, broke its maiden in a 42, but then wasn't running in 60s, 54s, and 50s. So you look at the 5, man, and this horse, not owner trainer owned, but this is a nice horse that's gonna get overlooked, probably, I would guess, as it relates. Yeah, I mean, not a lot of great trainers. There's Cassie shows up with the 1, but definitely one of the lower percentage trainers here.
No, definitely. Though the 4, they are 50%, but I'm the other angle that there does seem to be a lot of speed here. Maybe the 6 gets away, the long shot. They're at 10% too. But it's also, it's possible here that we see the 6, the 1, and the 3 all go, and that might actually set things up nicely for the 5 or the 2.
Yeah, I mean, all these horses. I mean, the 6 going to be on the lead. That was only a 50 though.
This horse stopped really bad here in a 52 with some pressure. It looks like back here stopped in a 60 with a little bit of pressure. I mean, the 6, I mean, as a long shot is interesting. You don't really need the 3. The 1 got an easy lead in a stakes and stopped. Right here, there's only a 54, so definitely fits there, but also stopped really bad here with an easy lead. So
yeah,
to be honest, love your 5. I mean, this horse has a great shot. I do think it sets up for one of these, though, looking at the pace like that. You know, the 4 definitely can kind of stock off the pace here. Second off the layoff, is in for a claim because was in an optional claim and one last out. So that horse is in for a tag, where the 2 who haven't talked about is not. And this is a nice horse, obviously coming off the layoff as well. You know, 1 is 62 here, just rating off the pace, and then ran well here in 60s and 64s.
Yeah, and I have a little question on that horse, whether it's a little bit of a money burner too. But it was going from different surfaces, and I think it does want synthetic, but I don't know that it wants to spread on the synthetic. Even though it does have that one win. That win was against 40 optional claimers was near the lead. And if this horse is going to sit that trip, this time it's going to set things up for the 5.
Yeah, for sure. No, I agree. All right, how much time we got?
5 minutes. Yeah.
Okay. Well, good luck there. We can talk Churchill for a minute. Somebody wanted Churchill earlier. Big allowance optional claim race coming up, race number 7. So
Cox horse is the favorite. Or no, it's the favorite. Winner of the last 2, beat 66s and 60s. Is first time Brad Cox coming over from Wesley Ward, which is interesting. Maybe a private purchase because there's no claim indicated here.
Yeah, I mean, we'd have to look if ownership changed, but Gaffleone rides here, right? I mean, this horse is the top pace, Golden Bell. Stretching back out to 6 furlongs was 5 last out, 1, 2 in a row. So this horse looks interesting. I mean, it's definitely going to have to improve, but won by 3 lengths last out in a 60. So,
so what do you think of the long shot here?
Well, I mean, first, the 1, this horse is going to show some pace too. So it's going to be a good pace. The 5, Stella Noir, it's a great name. Morning Line likes 9%. Hasn't won, but has a 2nd and 2/3. Looks to Oldy be facing a lot tougher. Good GSR. Who's Jay DeSormo? What's happening? Keith's training, but who's Jay?
Yeah. That is their father, I think, who recently passed away. But I don't have a Jay DeSormo. I have Graham as the jockey.
No, as the trainer was Jay DeSormo.
Yeah, I think that's either their brother or their father. I think it's the father.
Interesting. Well, Keith takes over, obviously, but I mean, out of this horse coming out, they must have shipped this horse in maybe when for Derby Day, and 1 is 66 here. Has been obviously on the West Coast the whole time. James Graham rides.
Fits from an SOR standpoint.
For sure does. I mean, this horse here, it ran in a 70, right? Got 2nd in a 5-horse field. But, I mean, the pace is going to be really hot. Somebody like the 7 going to try to sit the trip. And this horse has shown it can in 70s. So Roman's horse.
I mean, it stopped pretty badly there. But granted, that was an 80, but
this horse doesn't want to be on the lead. I mean, those are insanely tougher though, right? This horse also, Oldy, we talked about this last week. I mean, it has 2 wins at Churchill.
Yep. And normally I'd be saying you can use the Romans horse. I will skip it because Romans just doesn't win these type of races, but this horse has.
Yeah.
Giant Game yesterday was a great example of that. It was dropping, it had dropped out of graded stakes. It got an easy lead and just stopped for Romans.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, I mean, that's a place where that horse for sure fits, to be honest. Yeah. I think the 5 is interesting. I think the 7 as well would be my looking at this. I don't know if I trust these horses on the lead. I could see one or both stopping. The 1 has run really well, but versus easier, where you look from a class perspective, the 7 and 5 seem to really fit. You're getting a good price on the long shot, the 5.
Yeah, and if the 3 runs the race it did last time at Fairgrounds, which I have no confidence that it will. The 3 is going to be dangerous too. It's interesting though that Romans isn't Lannery Roman's son-in-law?
I don't know. Is he?
I'm pretty sure he is. And he's not putting him up. That's why he uses him so often.
Well,
he's not putting him up here.
But he uses Garcia, and it looks like Lannery rides well for Pessin. So,
right.
I mean, the 3 may be
loading
live.
at Woodbine, by the way.
Yeah, I'm good. I was tracking it. Okay.
No problem.
We'll come back, talk Churchill
if that race hasn't gone off, but we'll also end up back at Gulfstream.
Yeah. And honestly, at Santa Anita, the most interesting race of the sequence for me was that first race. Can you shift the screen up for Woodbine?
Oh, yeah.
As they once again move forward with Anam Cara, there is resistance from her. American Gamble out to 8-1. Now Anam Cara settles. American Gamble, the 1 to join, comes forward. Fillies and mares are all in. Locked up. Off their race, Mimi's Golden Ring awkwardly out at the back and going out in front. American Gamble and Super Flashy, hard driven. And Mimi's Golden Ring has come from last to plunge to the front. On the inside is Swinging Mandy, hemmed in at the moment. Sacred Dancer going forward, and last, Anam Cara. The pace is keen and going clear. Mimi's Golden Ring for Jason Hoyt by a length and a quarter. American Gamble back to 3rd, Super Flashy. And then Sacred Dancer, Swinging Mandy, tightened for room. On the outside is Anam Cara, second last. Mimi's Golden Ring taken on by American Gamble. 1.5 to Super Flashy, and Sacred Dancer gaining on the outside. Swinging Mandy trying to get away from the rail is doing that. And last, Anam Cara. American Gamble breathes down the neck of Mimi's Golden Ring. At their girth, it's Sacred Dancer and Super Flashy's looking for room in the center, trying to get off the inside, and behind them, Swinging Mandy, Super Flashy coming through, takes the split now.
Come on, 2.
Drives up and goes up to hit the front. Mimi's
better
Golden
than that 3 stealing the race.
Flashy pulling away. Super Flashy by about a length.
I was definitely sweating that for a little bit.
Wow, the 3 ran really good.
So 3:45:48 is what that pays.
Nice. Well done.
Imran, I know we're not really covering Churchill.
We were just talking for a minute. We got Gulfstream in 6 minutes, so I will give you a ticket generator pick 3 if you want one.
And while you do that, I'm going to mute it for a second and run to the washroom. So I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm on the 5 and 7 here, Imran.
So there you go. There's a pick 3. It wants to spread kind of in the last race. So
I think that the first race will be interesting. There's a lot of pace there, but I'm taking somebody like the 7 to sit off the pace. So good luck if you want to play that, but we're going to jump back to Gulfstream. Gulfstream race number 7. This is my single in the pick 5. Oldy is singled in the last in his pick 4. I think the 6 is the current favorite. Tough state bred allowance, to be honest. Looks like they're out on the track. We'll watch that for a minute, maybe.
Stepping onto the track now for race number 7, first half of the late daily double in the Friday feature. Florida Bred Allowance horses. These are 3-year-old fillies. A field of 6. Win, play, show. Exact the trifecta, superfecta, and late daily double opportunity.
Jaramillo on the 5. That horse was a little bit interesting for Arundel. Probably homebred. There's the favorite. Marco Meneses rides. Awesome pick for trainer Robert G. Smith. Meneses showing back up at Gulfstream Park. He, I believe, had been riding up at Tampa, if I remember correctly. So, but that's my ticket. I thought the 4 Reyes jumps aboard, I believe, or maybe he rode. Oh, he's been riding this horse. That's right. I thought, I mean, this horse drops a little bit in GSR from 6 to 7, but you know, and the horse looked like it wants to go 2 turns, but it's the top EquinEdge pick, top win percent. You know, DeBona at 26%, 32% when Reyes rides. So, you know, this horse won easy first out in a 52 state bred, then nearly wins, you know, a non-state bred race, gets 3rd in a 12 horse field at 24-1, right? In a 72. So very sneaky there. I mean, gets 3rd there, picks up a nice paycheck in the debutante at Ellis Park, and then comes back to Gulfstream as a 3-year-old, race great as a 2-year-old, and nearly wins. You know, I like seeing this. You know, was a 64, was the favorite, you know, just misses at 7 furlongs, you know, cuts back now. You know, GSR drops a little bit, but I thought this was a nice horse. So we will see. I know Oldy liked the 6, talked about potentially singling the 6 early, but he has spread on his ticket. The 1 who he talked about is Gervin Girl, a potential bomber here, and then 4, 5, 6. So there's Samantha. Audio is like,
yeah, I'm still muted too. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're good. Her voice is nowhere matching her lips.
That's always a problem.
Oldy, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go to the restroom. Right. I'll leave it on the video. There, I didn't have it up. Sorry. I'll leave it on the video.
No problem. So I had a note on Gervin Girl that the horse is really talented. And at 15, 14-1, you know, that type of note is too tough to pass up on to at least do something here. So I'm going to do a win, play, show here besides having it in the in my pick 4. You know, it does seem like there's a lot of speed here. We'll see how this plays out. It's going to be an interesting flow to the race.
All right, I'm back. Give me a good one, Oldy, here. The feature of the day, the 6 horse, still the favorite. Taking a big drop out of those races, if I remember correctly. Awesome pick. Yeah, it was in a 74 state bred last out, ran 3rd and nearly 20 lengths back, but obviously way too tough. Tried in a 72, which was too tough. So horse won easy in a 66 by 6 lengths there at Tampa Bay. So this horse looks like the real deal. My concern was just a little bit, you go back here in these races, was winning starter optional claims and 54s and 58s, you know, and then drops into these big races, it's kind of like
goes from easy for the horse and just gets really confident, and the horse doesn't run well. So
drops back to where it fits, I think will be tough, is going to likely sit a good trip.
But I landed on the 4. This horse is lightly raced, only at second start as a 3-year-old, and just looked like a good horse, Oldy.
Yeah, and looking closer, Robert Smith is the trainer owner on the on the 6. There's no reason the 4's lightly raced could easily improve here. I also think, as I mentioned, I think that we could get a pretty hot pace here, and I think Gervin Girl can rate a little bit more than some of these horses.
Mike, did Churchill come 7-5? Mike and Mike, I see Mike. You said Gulfstream, but I'm guessing you meant Churchill. I mean, if it did, I would. I wish I would have bet it. That's hit the. Those are the only 2 horses I really talked about. So, Imran.
That's going to pay, even though it's the favorite. It's the 5 went off at 10-1.
Yeah, that's. I hope you played the exact Imran. That would have been a good bet. I almost did, but was too focused on Gulfstream. I need a single. I haven't had a pick 5 on the show in a long time, so
we will see. The 2 going to be the big favorite in the last for sure. We talked about that horse earlier, so
yeah.
What's this, race 7? Yeah.
And right now, your 11, your single at Pimlico, is sitting as the favorite.
Hey, good to know. We'll get that. Rodney's pick 3 is alive. I hope that gets home.
Let's see if we can get back-to-back singles.
Yeah.
We will find out here in a minute.
Anything that beats the 6 is going to help this thing pay. So,
yeah, I'm surprised the 5, 9-2 isn't taking much money. The 6 with Manassas just getting crushed down to 4-5.
Has Manassas ever ridden a 3-5 favorite that you're aware of?
Dude, I don't know. He no. He shows back up here at Gulfstream, which he hasn't been here, I feel like, for a bit. He
was at Tampa, right? I think.
Yeah. Which they're closed, right? But I think it's a better meet probably for him than Gulfstream. I know he was riding at Gulfstream for a long time.
And honestly, one of the weirder things out there is that that a lot of those Tampa horses move up to Presskill Downs for the rest of the year, either Mountaineer or Presskill Downs. So you'll see a lot of the Tampa horses running on the synthetic there. And it's another opportunity with GSR to be able to, especially the first couple of races, be able to take advantage of the surface change.
Ready for action. And they're off. Slow to break. Gervin Girl, quick to start. Hialeah Hottie, who heads off for the early lead. Awesome pick on the outside. Olga splits them. Tapper Light away 4th. Saving ground, chasing Silver second last in the trailer after a less than stellar beginning. Gervin Girl, who's angled to the far outside. To the half-mile point they race. It's a contentious early pace. Hialeah Hottie nursing a neck advantage. 3 wide, awesome pick. 2-path Olga. Tapper Light gets a good trip behind the speed in 4th. 3 better than Gervin Girl. Now the trailer is chasing Silver. 22 seconds for a strong opening quarter, and here's the move from Awesome Pick, challenging Olga for the top. That's all for Hialeah Hottie. From the outside, Tapper Light is now 3rd. Reyes asks her to quicken with 3 lengths to raise. Gervin Girl's in stride for Panici on the far outside. Quarter of a mile left to go with her ears up. Manassas sends Awesome Pick clear to lead by 2. Gervin Girl continues to chase, and she's trying to get to the leader while second. Back to 3rd, it's Olga. Called on but not responding at all was Tapper Light, as Awesome Pick is long gone. Gervin Girl did well to rally into second, and she looks like she's going to hold second.
I wouldn't place showed Gervin Girl, so
Awesome Pick
I'll still make some money there.
Burning up another pick 5, y'all, on a cold streak. No 4, no bueno. Back to Pimlico, Oldy. We got not much time, I'm assuming.
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
You have the 6, 7, and 11. The 6 and 7, a couple of good prices.
Yep.
The 6 is the top EquinEdge pick, but not taking much money currently, which is interesting. A lot of speed here. You know, that horse was really, really interesting. This horse has run really well on the turf sprinting. You can see it here, but hasn't won, but gets a drop in class. This horse for sure live. I mean, I was not on the 7 at all. It was just a 2-horse race for me, the 6 or 11. I didn't like any of these other horses, but I thought the 11 was best. We will find out, though. Lightly raced, first time on the turf.
Yeah, what's interesting here, I'm just looking at the will pays. In the doubles, the 6, 7, and 11 are almost exactly the same price.
Yeah.
And usually you don't see that big of a delta between the win betting and the doubles. So I expect the 6 to come down. Same thing in the pick 3. They're all 3 pretty much in line with each other. The 7's there's a little less tied to the 7, it looks like, out of the 3 horses. It's definitely interesting. I'd love to get you your single here, so that we're both alive to that last leg.
Yeah, the last leg, you know, maiden race had a couple of horses at high win percent. So we will see. Let's see if it's a 2-horse race. Sprinting on the turf can just produce bombs at times, whether it's at Pimlico or Gulfstream or wherever. You can get all types of wild things to happen. So we will find out shortly. Awesome pick, makes it easy at 3 to 5 at Gulfstream Park. It looks like we got still about 4 minutes till Pimlico. The 11, the current favorite at 5 to 2. So we will see what happens. I didn't see anything really here, Oldy, outside that, but not to say that, you know, a lot of these horses are probably coming off a layoff. The 10 is, the 9 is, the 5 second off the layoff, but the 4, no, yeah. So a few of them coming off the layoff. We'll have to see.
Yeah, and the 9's getting bet a little bit. Well, no, actually it's not. I take that back. It was a minute ago. But I just, you know, and maybe this horse is good enough off the layoff that it doesn't matter. You know, it will get a pace to run into it. Almost at 5.5, it almost won a non-graded stakes. Granted, it was a state bred with a 58 SOR.
The Camptown Colonial.
Yeah. And, you know, maybe it just needs the extra half furlong there. Maybe shortening up will help it. I don't know. It definitely was running a lot of 5.5 furlong races, and it's now dropping to 5 furlongs. You know, this would not be a bad one to cover if I were to cover something I don't currently have, being that it's 10% also. Hedge, I think, is the other term. So I would do something here because we're in the second to last leg. I'd probably do a double here, the 9 into the horses that I have in the last leg. Are we in the second? Am I getting ahead of myself? No, I'm not.
No, there's one more race after this.
Yeah, I'm just, my head's not working all of a sudden. But yeah, I mean, I would cover this as a 9, and then I had 1, 2, 4, 5, 8.
Yeah, you're 1, 2, 4, 5, 8 in the last. Lots of coverage. That's good. You had a good single back there with Gunslinger. So we're about 1 minute to post. I will jump over the allowance, the feature of the day, back-to-back features. Had the feature at Gulfstream and now the feature at Pimlico. A week away from the Black-Eyed Susan, Oldie. Going to be a good one.
Yeah, no, and I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, I should be able to get out of my training in Boise in time to get to the hotel to do the show, which of course is my thought. I'm more excited about doing the show and watching the Black Eyed Susan. So, but this is a good opportunity to see how Pimlico is playing and everything like that too. We've gotten some turf routes. This is a turf sprint. We've seen some stuff on the dirt. I know they have a bunch of stakes Friday and Saturday next week.
Yeah, it's always they always have good days there. If I remember, a lot of Maryland trainers will show up on those days and can be very sneaky. You know, when I was at the Preakness, like all types of wild stuff happened on both those days. Stuff that I don't even know how that horse won, but they I think must wait for this weekend, to be honest.
Yeah.
On some of those trainers. So which makes sense. I mean, this is their biggest weekend of the year, I'm sure.
I want to say Javen Toledo. I learned his name last year, either from Black Eyed Susan Day or the Preakness. I think he won like 5 or 6.
Yeah, I mean, you learn a lot of these other jockeys who we don't normally get unless you play the Maryland circuit. So
I believe this is like a 14-day meet, and that's it. And then it goes back to Laurel.
They opened back up so fast there. Right? They're like, oh, they're closed. And then all of a sudden they were open back up. I thought that was interesting. So
reach the starting gate.
We will see you. Go ahead.
I was going to say, hopefully if there was work that needed to be done on the surface, it's being done now while they're running here.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they opened up back quick. They weren't closed very long. So, that was interesting to see. So,
and it does look like the 6 is being bet back down to where we thought it should be, or where the doubles in the pick 3 said it should be.
7 current second favorite. 11 still holding as the favorite at 5
for takeoff coming up.
And I don't know enough about this turf course to know whether, and I should have run the numbers to see if outside posts do really well in these turf splits.
They do. Yeah. I may have even had it in my notes, to be honest. It's very tough to close unless you're outside. Outside closes really well. You want to be on or stock the pace, but you cannot close from the inside. You got to be on the outside.
Island Philo, Grand Skylark.
Grand Skylark.
That's a car.
I was going to say it sounds like a Buick.
That's 100% a Buick. I think my mom had it.
Worth.
I remember this. I think it was even called the Grand Skylark. It had like
Buick or an Olds. It might have been an Oldsmobile.
And
no, it's Buick.
Wow, 6 got an easier lead than I was expecting there.
Flirtatious last and in vain out 1-2. The outside money's worth pushing along into third position, right in range of the early speed. Prepare for takeoff down inside there. The orange silks and summer odds the gray alongside of that island.
So I don't know if I'd describe this as an easy lead.
Poor beginning. And so the 3 lengths back of the field is Smart Yuli and Bella Bettina trailing the field into the turn run.
22 and 2. That's not that
last
fast,
to catch. In vain now trying to make inroads from second. Flirtatious last 3 parts of a length. And second there is In Vain. That's another 2 lengths back of the outside is Grand Skylark, has moved along into a third position now, and the far outside is Island Philo. In the meantime, Money's Worth is ground saving, beginning to kick on 2 with a furlong left to go. Flirtatious last in front. Summer odds coming in the far outside In Vain, and here comes Money's Worth, a last ditch bid.
11's coming late.
Last is 2 of them. Flirtatious.
Sorry, man.
Money's Worth was second.
Hey, it's one of those days, man.
Yep.
No singles. It's been a rough show for a long time, man. I don't remember the last time I had to pick 5 on the show. 45 to the 11. Rodney, no good, brother. Sorry. 6 got an easy lead. Was not going to be caught. 7 put 0 pressure. 7 was a bum. That horse wasn't going to run. In Vain. 11 just nowhere good enough. 6, went almost 46, but not fast at all. I mean, that horse made that look easy. So
good ride there by Barbosa. We'll see what the for anybody who played along, we'll see what the will pays are paying in a couple minutes here when this goes official.
Gulfstream. Whoops.
Or Woodbine.
Yeah, I'm just looking here. We got the last at Gulfstream. And then Oldy, we can I know we have last at Gulfstream left at Pimlico. So
can you hang around till see if we can land a nice payday at Pimlico?
No, yeah, we're good. Yeah, we'll close out both these, of course. Yeah. Woodbine race number 7. 7 furlongs on the Tapeta. One horse not taking any money. Did you play the late part? Oh, I didn't. Did you play the late part of this? I know we talked last minute about covering it. I didn't get a chance to look, but did you look at all race 7?
I did not, so it's a good opportunity for us to look right now.
I think,
and the reason I didn't was because Woodbine today was only doing 1 pick 5, so this is the late double. Right now, you have a pretty heavy favorite here.
Yeah, the 4 horse. What's that? Catiche?
Yeah, but interestingly enough, not among the top picks.
Yeah, which is pretty wild, to be honest, but it's actually not too much, because I started thinking about this. If both of these horses hit about 50% of the time, right?
Yeah.
Then, that's 45%. And then the 4 is the other 40%. So, you can see that, right? But so the algorithms are completely conflicting, but they both, they align with traditionally the top 2 EquinEdge picks still hit about 50%. So, it's in the 4 has just this massive GSR of 77. So, going 7 furlongs on the Tapeta, Oldy, and definitely likes the dirt and Tapeta.
Yeah.
Nicely bred, optional claim, not in for a tag. 1 of 48, right, in a maiden special here, or at Gulfstream actually, and then ends up nearly winning a grade 3, right, in a 70.
But this is an arrow gate. It's been on the shelf. Maybe something happened in that Colonial turf race, because it did not really run like it had been, and it also has been on the shelf since.
Yeah, Camaro rides Jonathan Thomas. Yep. So don't hear his name too much lately, but shows up here at Woodbine. How about this 3 horse, Oldy? My Girl Sky, the EquinEdge long shot, off a layoff as well, but had won a stakes race, and then nearly wins on the Tapeta after winning one on the turf in state bred. But a nice Ontario bred here, trainer jockey hit at a good clip at 27%.
Yeah, I mean that horse is interesting to me. The 7's a little interesting to me too.
November Fog. Campos riding for Richie. This horse has been running at this level or similar. Nearly won there to close out the meet, but that was on the turf.
Yeah. No, and it does look like it's been running a little better on the turf than it has been on the Tapeta.
4 looks tough. I think the 3 is interesting for me, though. Morning line angle, trainer jockey really well. This horse is very sneaky, in my opinion. I mean, it's ran some great races on the turf, and then wins a stakes there and runs really good here to close out the meet in a stakes race, but just comes up short. Good finish, dropping, cutting back, or they're starting at 7 furlongs here. So sources showing Oldy that it can rate. We'll have to see.
Yeah, and maybe you play a 1, 2, 3, 4 try here, because it's with normally that's a $12 try. I think it's like $3.20 at Woodbine. Something like that.
Yeah.
Because of or you could play, or you could drop the 4 out of the first spot. Yeah, it's $4.80, but and you know, if you get the 4 out of there, I might do something like hold on. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Well, but if I'm going to put there's just not enough horses here, I think, to spread this. But you could put the 4 in second, something like that, and use that as your key horse in the middle there.
You know, it's interesting. The 4 is not in the EquinEdge picks. You know, whatever that algorithm sees, it's telling you. And then on the flip side, though, the win percent loves this horse. I guess the question is, like, what happened in that last race, in the Oaks race at Colonial, was on the turf instead of the Tapeta. So maybe you cross that out. I don't know. But if this horse is, you know, probably going to run, or it doesn't hit the board, Oldy, maybe that's the situation.
Yeah, I mean, that's, and maybe this trainer's not great off the layoff. The horse does seem to be working well, though.
The 4?
Yeah, I did go and take a glance at that. And the horse has a 3-star work with a video. I did not watch the video, but, you know, I just wonder if this, you know, moving from 3 to 4, the fact that they waited all the way till almost June to, or mid-May to debut the horse. Maybe the horse wasn't maturing the way they wanted it to, or maybe it was injured at Colonial going from 3 to 4. So, you know, that is my biggest concern on the 4.
Lady Moonshine, a little bit interesting on the 2 horse. Looks like we got about 2 minutes. You know, 1 back-to-back here, 1 rating off the pace. So, you know, this horse probably not going to get the lead, probably going to try to sit off the pace, has never been on the lead in the last many races. The 4 have been on the lead here and won easy in that 48. So I think the 4 is the mystery, obviously, but the 1 Millie Girl, Oldy, I mean, this horse is lightly raced.
Yep.
Looks like a nice horse, you know, coming, you know, Woodbine as I guess that was as a 4-year-old, now 5. Catherine Day Phillips is the trainer.
And you know, my only question is whether this horse wants the synthetic. It does seem like it was running better on the turf, but the GSR says it should be fine.
Nicely bred. All of these are, well, I guess the 5 in for a claim and the 7. So I'm landing on the 3. I'm going to take the long shot here. I think this horse is pretty sneaky. Just not getting as much love as some of the others. And I like that it nearly won this stakes race here in a 60, but the 4 is going to be tough.
Yeah, no, I agree. As long as the 4 is ready to go here and it's the same horse, they're in the gate now. There we go. Yeah.
Up. And they're off. And one of the best away, November Fog, Tempera away nicely too, coming through. Lady Moonshine.
Did you have the 7 going to the lead there?
Was last. And Katish has gone up to be second. November Fog leads the way by a length to Katish. And on the inside, Lady Moonshine picking away at this leader. A length Tempera, My Girl Sky. And on the inside is Millie Girl. So despite being out in front from the outside gate, November Fog still the leader. A neck now coming to the leader on the inside, both Lady Moonshine and Katish, and the line of 3 by a length, and Millie Girl, who's coming up with the ears pricked very easily. Tempera, the outside, and My Girl Sky.
But I'd say this is sub-ideal for the 4.
There hasn't been a lot of pace on as they quicken for the first time.
3.5 to run.
Katish putting the pressure on Lady Moonshine. They joint lead from on the outside. November Fog coming up again. and November Fog goes at them 3 wide. A length and a half. Millie Girl waits for the run. My Girl Sky is second last, and Temporaya swinging down to the quarter. Lady Moonshine in front with Katish. They're pushing along. November Fog the outside. Millie Girl will angle to 3 path, coming quickly down the set of the track. Millie Girl takes aim. Katish, Lady Moonshine slog it out, but Millie Girl is overhauling them. Millie Girl on the outside, racing to the front, and has gone on by from Katish. And Millie Girl deep out of the center of the track will win. And Declan Carroll and Millie Girl by a length and a quarter.
Great ride
Katish
by
second,
Declan Carroll.
3.5 Lady Moonshine third. And then My Girl Sky, 122.94.
Did you see that?
No.
Mandatory payout tomorrow at Gulfstream.
Oh, yeah, they mentioned it earlier. Anthony, that's good to know. Top pace figures won 6 of 8 races. 2 in the last. All right. Well, good luck. Rodney. I don't remember what that place was called. I'll hit you up on Twitter. We'll try to figure it out. Doug, there's no fun. Why are you stuck there? It's beautiful in Seattle. What'd you do? Like, did you miss your flight? That's no good.
The unofficial result, you'll find the winner number 1.
All right, we got a couple more races, Oldy. We got Gulfstream to close it out for your pick 4, and then Pimlico to close it out for your pick 5. There's the Will Pays that just disappeared, but not too bad, even with that 6 winning there. So good single, Oldy. You have a lot of good Will Pays you're live to. The 2 horse, I'm guessing, in your pick 4 is nothing special at Gulfstream. What's the Will Pays on the 2?
Well, it is right around $60. It's actually $59.90 basically. But on a $36 ticket, I gave myself room that if it was chalky like this, it's going to be okay.
Well, that's good. With your pick 4, you'll get it home. Pick 5 is probably playing okay, but both of us.
No, it's not. You'd be shocked.
No, I mean on the other horses. So you got 500 to 1,000 to 1,500. Yeah, I'm not surprised to see the 2. I was just looking at $130. Like that's what I thought it could. That horse was going to be a big favorite here, Queen Karima. Just definitely top GSR, right? Top win percent, but only 29%. Working well for, is it Carlos? Yeah, Carlos Perez. But Oldy, big pace advantage, right? 28 points here. So.
And Golden Gate's about to go off. There is an interesting horse there. The 3, the system says is 18%, is sitting at 13-1.
Let's see if I can jump over. Golden Gate, was it race 1?
Yeah.
Well, they already went.
Oh, they went. Sorry. I did not have the video up. I was just.
You can still watch
and of course the 3 won.
Wow, yeah, the 3 did, man. 10-1.
18%.
Compton House.
Yeah. I was too, and if you look at this horse, you can't. There's nothing here that would have tipped you to this other than it's moving from dirt to synthetic, but it's actually dropping in GSR. Though it is picking up Espinoza.
Yeah.
This is one that I talked about. Horses like this in the class yesterday, and sometimes the system just knows things. Was the way I put it, and this would be a case where I see 18%, 13-1, or 10-1, whatever the case might be. I think, well, maybe the system knows something I don't know here, and that's definitely typically something I would play.
Yeah, big outlier there, but you're right. Espinoza jumps on, which should have been the most interesting thing, right at 18%. So wins that ended up going off at 10-1, I think. Live odds show 13, but good call, just a little bit late. So
sorry, guys.
All right. jumping back, Gulfstream, 3 minutes. The 2 big favorite.
I thought this horse was a big favorite. Should have just singled here. Would have been the play for sure. Wouldn't have paid much in the pick 5, only $130 to be live to. But if this horse doesn't run, I didn't think the 8 was really the play. I found the play to be the 4, the first time starter. Was only 6%, but I thought if anybody's going to just run, it's going to be a first-time starter here. The 8's 0 for 11, right? EquinEdge long shot, I didn't find very interesting. I don't know about you, Oldy. I think we talked about this horse maybe doesn't want the turf.
Yeah. No, I didn't really like the 5. I agree with you. Oak Street Beach would have been my second choice here. The 8's a money burner. That first time starter, though, there's some pretty good works. One of the things that kept it off my ticket is I don't typically like gun runners on the grass.
Yeah, this horse is bred for the. I can see right here is bred for the. This horse is a nicely bred horse on the dirt, coming from gun runner, Oldie. So, but this horse does not want to sprint at all. This horse.
But to be honest, though, the thing I would say is like,
it may not matter, right? I mean, especially on the Gulfstream turf, this is a nice horse on the dirt to go 2 churns. Here's the dirt, and if this horse is primed and ready to go for Proctor, it could just go and be gone.
Yeah.
But the 2's fast, so it's going to be interesting. Maybe it just is the pace is only 40. So the 2, Oldy, why you singled, right? Is
this horse could just go and be done, and everybody else is just kind of running behind.
And I do have to wonder, one of the things I was wondering about when I was putting my ticket together was, why is this horse sprinting on the turf? And maybe this is Proctor's MO. Maybe he gives the horse a race here, and this is more schooling, and the turf course is a safer way to do that. I know that that's more of an old school way that trainers do things, where they'll start off on the turf and then move the horse to the dirt if they think it's a dirt horse.
Yeah. 2 getting crushed, 3 to 5. We'll see how low this horse gets. I would not bet this horse at 3 to 5, right? But I think that's why the will pays and the pick 4 or pick 5 are so small. It definitely looks like the best. But I would say, Oldy, I mean, this horse is only 29%.
Yes.
Is the most scary thing about this, which is where I thought somebody might be able to win
outside of the 2. But it looked hard on paper. So I think on paper, you look at this and this horse just looks much the best.
Yep.
Without EquinEdge and having a win percent, you don't really know, which is why this horse is 3 to 5, right? It's just taking a boatload of money. The system says it should be, obviously bet, to even money. So really getting crushed at the window, though.
Yeah, and that's one of the reasons you have to use this in a multi and hope for a price somewhere too, because. And I don't think at 29% a horse shouldn't be 1 to 2.
I know it did tick down, man.
Yeah.
might go to 1 to 5. I'll jump back to 3 to 5.
I was gonna say it might go to 1 to 5 next, but ticked back up.
We'll see with the first time starter. I think that was just, again, the most interesting. I think to your point,
you got some money burners here, some people that. Now that's why the 2's the big favorite. Some of these just don't look good at all. So, well, there's 1 to 2 again. We'll see if this drops at all down to maybe 1 to 5.
I mean, at 1 to 2, I want like 60% win percentage.
One horse,
and I'm not betting it anyways, but I'm saying. When I'm looking at 1 to 2, I think that horse should be like 60%.
Yeah.
That.
The 1 is also a first time starter. Had a good GSR as a first time starter. So
We'll see if anybody can upset the two. Maybe tough, but only 29%, taking a lot of money. There's the one horse. Looks okay. Not too worked up for the first start, so.
Yeah, and it's a pretty good trainer. Again, the question is anybody else going to go with the two, or is the two stop? It did. Let me see what the note. It doesn't say that it stopped the first time out. It said the note says caught. So maybe it did stop, maybe it didn't, or maybe there was just a horse that was just absolutely loaded. But yeah, and I don't hate the 3 either here. If I was looking for a long shot, let's say the 2 stumbles out of the gate, the 3 might get an easy lead if that were to happen.
Mm-hmm.
And how many times have we seen something like that happen to a favorite?
It happens, Matt. I mean, I think
horses are at the gate. It's now post time. Lining up and moving in for race number 8, starting leg of a final race of the afternoon.
Starting
tomorrow
leg
will be the starting leg. 10 races tomorrow. The Rainbow 6 will start with race number 5. It must go. Mandatory pad on the Rainbow 6. So look forward to an added bonus in the form of some nice carryover money to enjoy. Just pick 6 tomorrow. 3-5 favorite here in the finale is number 2, Queen Karima. Edgar Perez for Carlos Perez.
Good luck, David.
So are they going to have big enough fields tomorrow to have a mandatory payout? Because fields have been pretty small at Gulfstream lately.
I don't know. I haven't looked yet. I would assume it should be a good card, but we'll find out.
Let's see if I go to 513 while we're waiting here for them to load. They have a non-graded stake. They have a couple non-graded stakes on the schedule.
1-2 now. Queen Karima, daughter of Practical Joke. 5-1 respect for number 8, Feline. No money really for much else. 4, Oak Street Beach, holding at 7-1 at the moment. Oak Street Beach. Now, Dancing Deb.
Come on, Deb, dance your way into the gate.
On the outside, Feline will complete the line. They're at the post. And runners away. Blowing the break was Regards. Winning the break was Queen Karima, who heads off for the early advantage from Compass Fire away in second. Felines on the far outside.
There?
Just got knocked into by Longing for Mints.
Look at the knocking on the outside.
Deb working 4 ahead of Cindy Lou Who, and Regards is last. To the far turn.
I don't like the way the 2's looking here. I think 2's going to get caught.
2-path Compass Fire at the
rail. Maybe I'm wrong.
Oak Street Beach, a trip out
the
fourth.
With an inside
loaded.
There's Oak Street Beach to go on the attack at the 5/16.
8's done. It's either the 2 or the 4.
Running home a bit from the back is Regards with a quarter of a mile left to go. They went 21-1 for the opening quarter. Oak Street Beach within a length and a half of Queen Karima, but Queen Karima will have none of that. Kicks again, lead by 3. Oak Street Beach is now second from the outside. Feline, late run from Dancing Deb, but at 3-5, Queen Karima is in front. Queen Karima to win it by 4.5 in the end. Oak Street Beach was second. Cindy Lou Who is up for third, then Dancing Deb, and Feline.
Lou Who up for third. All right, Oldy, we got one race left at Pimlico. Probably close out the show here, you all.
Yep.
I got to get back to the day job. You are live. Will pays looked good. I only saw them briefly. What are your will pays?
So they're between about 790, 785 ish, and the best will pay is about 1,700.
Nice.
So we'd like the 1. Ideally, we'd like the 1 or the 5.
Okay.
We do not have the 3.
Was there a scratch here recently, or both these were scratched?
Both those were scratched.
Okay.
The 3 is the only horse we don't have, and that is going to pay $15,000. So if you see me crying in the corner, if the 3 wins, that is why.
2% horse, 15 to 1 on the EquinEdge morning line. I did not see this horse, but Kobe Smile, great name.
Stranger things have happened.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2%. It's not 1%. So I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Well, not a good thing, but 24 to 1. Well, good luck, man. I hope you get this through. You had a great single in the 6 horse. Would be a good start to your weekend, I'm sure.
Yeah, no, definitely. And to everybody in the WhatsApp chat who joined the ticket too.
I like it. One minute. There's the 2, 5 to 2. So you need the 1 or 5 for the biggest payouts.
Right. Yes, but it's not bad. It's a decent profit on the 2 and 4 also, and the 8. In fact, the 2 and the 8 have exactly the same amount of tickets alive to it.
That's funny, man.
You don't see that very often.
Mm-mm.
But again, with this pool being not a Gulfstream size pool, there's less tickets and it's more common, I guess, as I talk about it. Looks like there was some winning going on in the chat there, so with the 3 underneath there in the last.
Did the 3 end up getting third? I thought it was the 5. Oh, it did get third.
3,
I was thinking that was the it came. Well, I mean, we pretty much called that race, Oldy. Good job. It was 2-4-3. So
you too. I mean,
yeah, we talked a lot about the 4. That was it looked like it was just 2-4 in that race. So the 2s still tried to pull the horse up, man. You see that?
Yeah.
I mean, that horse was just much the best. 4, watch it. I mean, the 4 ran good as a first-time starter there, but
watch for the 4 maybe on dirt next time out too.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, let's get these guys loaded.
Turn the sound on. Well, it's been funny, y'all.
Yeah.
We got Black Eyed Tuesday next week. We will be here. Should be a good one. And then Preakness the next day.
Yep.
Good luck, man. Well, you're gonna hit it. So I hope you get the 1 or the 5.
Well, unless the 3. Well, let's just knock on wood that the 3 doesn't bomb this whole thing. Three doesn't even want to go in the gate.
That's like that 5 in that race a while ago. It's like, why is this horse in the race?
Yep.
Doesn't even want to race today.
Wait, have a Kobe Smile.
It is a great name.
Like, yeah, it is. He's like, I ain't doing it.
Well, that assistant starter kept trying to grab the horse by the head, and the horse like, leave me alone.
Because at this time now, Podgy Bonsi.
Thanks, Jonathan. Jotham.
Auntie Rona. And Baby Socks. And they're off. Awkward beginning there for Kobe Smile. Very slow to go. Pudgy Bonsi, and you know up on the inside, and Baby Sox with early speed coming to join at the far outside. Thunder Boss is on the chase of that trio. Back to Auntie Rona, another two, and Kobe Smile is trailing the field. You know, leads the way from Pudgy Bonsi by a half length. Just to the outside of them is Baby Sox keeping up in third position. Thunder Boss right off the speed there in fourth. Auntie Rona, and trailing is Kobe Smile heading into the far turn. You know, Pudgy Bonsi, and on the outside, Baby Sox, 3 in a line. They're sharp opening quarter, 23.03 as Thunder Boss is in fourth, now ridden along for a little more. Back to Ante Rona.
I would not call that a sharp opening quarter. That's a slow opening quarter.
It's Baby Sox down to the inside. You know, Pudgy Bonsi's also digging. Momentum to Baby Sox out in the center of the track.
Baby
trying. Sox and determined, you know, is fighting on. Pudgy Bonsi is next. Here comes Auntie Rona. Auntie Rona rolling to the far outside.
Come on, Five, pick up those feet. Get by. Get by.
Eddie Rona on the outside.
Nice. Boom, boom, boom.
Auntie Rona.
Boom hands. It's been a while since I got to do that on the air.
That was a good one, man.
Almost 1,500.
15?
Almost 1,500, yeah.
Nice. Got it kind of perfect setup there and was able to come off the pace, man. Auntie Rona. Well done, man. That's a good pick 5. Jotham, thanks for tuning in. Oldy has been on fire, Rodney. I agree. Great job today, Oldy.
I think we were due, and you're due, so maybe next week will be your turn to hit something big on the air.
We'll see. Well, it's been a pleasure, brother. I hope you have a good weekend. I'll be playing lots of baseball tomorrow, but I hope you have a good day, and everybody here have a good weekend. Happy Friday. Sheldon Russell, well done today. Good job for Oldie. Any closing thoughts, Oldie?
No, just as always, so much fun doing the show. Thank you to everybody who tunes in, and talk to you on Twitter, talk to you in the chat. In the meantime, and see you next week.
Cool, man. It was a pleasure. Cool. Thanks, everybody. We appreciate it. Have a good weekend. I hope you all hit some good winners, and we will catch you next Friday for Black Eyed Susan. Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.